win 3 lane type logic, right? But yeah, on an even game, I'm leaning towards Na'Vi. So Liga, they're gonna have to find some little moments to step up and showcase why they are a potential contender to qualify for TI.
Let's see what you got. See if we can make this 2-horse race a 3-horse race. Well, it's going to be Ari just running up the high ground, immediately seeing the storm. Navi, how hard do they want to go for this? Have they actually got it blocked here? No, they don't quite. And now Boom's actually the one taking a lot of damage back the other way with the Fatal Bonds coming out. Boom's getting low, and he'll be the first one to fall. Malik gets the first one as they move over towards Respect as well. Respect is getting awfully low here, and he will die as well. EEU picks up that kill, but now you going on the run. Na'Vi looking for another here. Disruption available, but he's getting under the tower. And that is not something you can dive this early on into the game. So whilst Liga get first blood, Na'Vi get 2 kills.
Yeah, I was so fixated on the fight that I didn't really pay attention to where Copy was. He turned up quite late to the engagement to then throw out a couple tree hits and a tree throw. Maybe if he was earlier to the engagement, we got another kill. But yeah, the Fatal Bonds, it is so strong early on.
Dude, if he had gone for Crash Landing, which, by the way, isn't that bad to start the lane with.
It could have been a woof. Yep.
Ooh, Crash Landing, Fatal Bonds, yeah, I'm down for that. But
if you say that to a mid laner, though, they would be very annoyed. Like, I don't level 3, level 1. I don't out deny my opponent. Unacceptable.
Yeah,
but no, of course, crutches. No, I think it's fine. Like, take the tree, play normally, whatever.
No, of course.
But yeah, no, I think the fact that Warlock, any kills early on feels great. Because often you're chasing 3-4 points in Black Grimoire, participate in that amount of kills, and already starting the lane with 2 is going to be very, very good. And Respect shows himself top, gets disrupted, battle hungered, and yeah, already kicked out of the lane to some degree.
Yeah, he's getting his Angus's peppered here very, very early on, as Ari and Boom just becoming very well known for just bullying in these lanes, just choosing one guy and just not leaving them alone. So this will be the case in this top lane as they try to just completely take Respect out of the equation.
That is one of the good things about Ari as a player. Like, once he identifies his hero pool, he likes to really min-max everything. He wants to think about, okay, how do I go aggressive in this matchup? Like, he really, really thinks about everything. And that means that when he's comfortable, he looks so good. Sure, when he's finding his heroes and maybe not as comfortable in a patch, then he can feel like a normal 4 player, but when he's in his stride, in his form, then yeah, he does look very good. Just, of course, as you know from the OG days, there can be the good days and bad days. But at the moment, it's looking good.
Down in the bottom lane, it's Malik and Amaralis laning up versus Iragi and Kaori. Of course, Kaori hitting the level 2, most likely going to take a point in a Shadow Word, and it's probably going to be a pretty chill time down here in the bottom lane. Although, holding the point, yeah, now we'll throw it down. Amaralis is going to block the camp, but Uragi's coming over. If he can get off the Stormhammer, this might be a kill, and he certainly does. Runs over with the war cry. Kaori, oh, yeah, okay. Does Amaralis die to Roche?
Okay, he's walking
I almost feel bad. I almost feel bad.
Yeah, and he almost feels bad. He doesn't quite feel bad. Salve comes out on the courier, and yeah, this is fine, but Kaori's going to run across and sneak a little bounty rune across, which means that Erase won't be getting himself. Oh, this guy's so annoying.
That's so annoying.
Oh, Respect dead up in the top side as the right click comes through. Now he takes down another one. Bullying Respect, it does not stop.
Warlock is going to have to return to bot lane, of course, with this threat or nuisance of the Rubik, sorry. Centaur is now level 3, uncontested in the first several waves, and now 12 for 5. And Ari, his aggressive positioning has now put him in a spot of bother, but he's still got a Fairy Fire. Sprout is up in 2 seconds. Move speed advantage to profit by 5 move speed, and a pause as well.
Oh my god.
No,
all right, chat, now's your time.
He's dead. He's
Press
dead.
No, let them vote. Let them vote. Press
Okay,
1
sure.
if you think that Ari is dead. Press 2 if you think he's going to survive. I'm interested. Are there any believers? Are there any Ari believers here? Any 2
So
presses?
now you need the pause to last long
All right,
enough.
Patrick has voted that Ari is dead.
He's dead, yeah.
You know what? I believe you guys
Okay.
are wrong.
I know how Ari lives. I know how he does it. Respect accidentally sprouts himself because he's so excited at the prospect of sprouting the Shadow Demon due to the pause. He's like, he already knew he was dead, but now the pause, the excitement has increased. You know, he's at the edge of his seat.
But it's
He
like,
double clicks it. Yeah.
his team's like, oh, you've got this kill, right? Like, there's no way you mess this one up. And he's like, oh.
Yeah, here it is.
Sweating.
Trust me. Look. This unpause.
No,
into
Ari, he's going to immediately
self-sprout.
Iron Branch himself out of the sprout.
That doesn't. Okay.
He's going to do it. First player, the first time it's ever been done. Oh, oh!
Don't go.
Yeah, let's go 2 presses. We win. We win. Suck it, T. Suck it, Patrick. Oh, yeah. It feels good. It feels good.
I think the only way to recover from that one is for respect to pause and just say keybinds. just make an excuse. Just
Dude, we
something
were.
quickly.
I was right. He choked it. He was like, oh, the second
the pause
guessing on the
button.
sprout. Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I think he may have clicked on the hero and just lost vision around the tree or something. I don't know. Either way,
Yeah, he walked up the steps and yeah, it's
who could have predicted
shenanigans.
that?
Either way,
He had no time to think, really.
no time to think. Yeah. God damn it. I'm just upset now.
Yeah, I'm gonna start my own Discord and only invite the people that press 2 there. We can just sit there in our
There's
our
like
glory.
3 of you.
Yeah, all 3 of us. Knowing that
Yeah.
we're smarter than a sea of ones, I'm sure, just flooded the chat.
Right, I'm loading up chat. I won't respond, I promise, but my attention is fully
No,
yours.
no more fighting with me.
Hey, it was a good meme, alright? It was a good meme.
Anyway, mid lane is going to erase, not massively convincingly, but yeah, it's a good start. You trading pretty well on the top lane as well, despite the aggression coming out from Boom and Ari. He's been able to farm pretty well from this on the Conquer. Now they're going pretty aggressively onto Boom here. X marks, Torrent, just good harassment coming out. Boom's going to go for the call just to give himself a bit of armor to make sure he gets away, but he will. On the bottom side, sort of a similar story. Yuragi leading over the Centaur just a little bit. But a little bit less of a lead than the Kunkka has over the Axe. It's Boom who's really struggling in this laning phase at the moment.
Well, luckily, again, there's already the kind of the comeback mechanisms, right? It's he can skip wave. The Prophet sure might be able to follow him and sprout him a couple times, but he should be able to. Okay, nice actual pull here. Just prolonging the time in which Boom gets his creep wave.
Because Respect is here, though, it gives Boom a way to quickly aggro the wave and make sure it doesn't run across it. They'll just lose the catapult, which he doesn't really care about.
Yeah, it's all about efficiency now. Grab wave, Ari goes back, makes some stacks. You're going to get your phase boots at a nice timing on the Axe. Depending on how the game's going, he might go Blade Mail, he might go Blink if they feel like they need that, but with the heroes they have, Blade Mail would be the better option. You already have initiation for your Tiny. Your Sven naturally leaves lane to go farm jungle, so it's not as if you have this like requirement to match your timings with a carry that also wants to be aggressive. So, yeah, just sit back, hit some creeps, and try and get as many levels as possible. That's where Liga need to kind of find a way to help the Storm Spirit out. They haven't done that so far. The 6-minute rune. No support really helped out. The mid lane copy just gets the haste rune for free.
Yeah, that feels a little bit illegal.
Yeah, a smidge. Because in regards to like playmaking, when Centaur's in one lane and Kunkka's in the other, your playmaker is only ever going to be the Storm Spirit, right? And leaving him by himself is not really going to enable your team to feel good.
I like how Ari considered going for the disruption there onto Boom as he got X marks, and it's like, actually, it's such a level 1 torrent. Like these carry Kunkkas are so like ineffectual. It's like, oh, for some stack steals here now. Copy and
He's
Yuragi.
too late. Look at him.
Yeah, he's like,
"Guys,
oh, what's going on here, guys? Mind if I
He didn't get a
get
single
in on
CS,
this
by the
action?
way. I only saw purple and blue numbers. I didn't see a single yellow number. Maybe I'm colorblind, but still. I don't think Yuragi got anything for walking over.
So, who's purples? Coffee. Oh, TP in here, a raise. He's looking for something, but Copy's gonna give him the toss and the avalanche and just punish him for being a bit cheeky. Take his mana, maybe even send him back to base again. Oh, he has to go back to base again. That's gonna suck. Looks like he probably will.
Okay, the real question is, do you think after this game, do you think like the Na'Vi support team will nitpick that and go, why didn't Copy toss back to the Axe, who sure had cool and cooldown for 1 second, but they had disruption on the SD. You could have then disrupted the Storm and then had cooldown. You know, like, do you think they'll nitpick every little detail of that engagement there where Storm lives?
I feel like a coach probably.
Yeah, maybe.
If he sees.
I mean, the social media manager. I don't think that they're coming in going doing a little tweet.
Dude, if my social media manager comes in and starts like selling to my players, like, hey guys, you missed that one. They are gone. They're out of that door. Unless they're really funny, then they're gone.
Oh god. No, I meant in general. I mean, obviously we know that Milan's coaching, but I don't know how many other people that there might be. Nowadays, there always seems to be like an analyst and a coach and a second coach and a whatever.
To analyze the analysis. And the coach of the coach.
Harry though.
Coach.
Grabbing with it.
Spiritual coach. We're gonna get a spiritual coach in Dota. I want to see some crystals in that drafting room. Someone just going around and rubbing crystals on everybody's heads at the start of the game. Like, yes, I'm empowering you to win this game. That'd be hype.
I'm sure there's been some coaches like that before. Probably not around for a reason.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, some tarot card readings. Oh, yeah. I want to pick Storm, spiritual coach. Should we go for it? Let me. Oh no, it's the Knight of Cups. That's bad.
The TI winning Magic 8-ball draft. Mid lane getting pressured. Courage throws down the golem.
Maybe I'll find my tarot cards for the next game. I'll draw a card to predict the draft for you guys. See if it works. Oh, why is there a storm hammer going across there? Okay. I don't know if everybody saw that or just me, but...
Thrown onto the Sven, didn't hit, and then followed it. Onto the Centaur, sorry. Okay. Storm Spirit is sitting top lane. Boom is half HP. Torrent hits, and the Storm connects. Boom is dead.
He certainly is. Nice moves from the Storm. Big movement. Even though nobody helped him in lane, he still comes to help out the side lanes. He makes a rotation. What a hero. Ray's truly the better player.
Okay. Just to update you, it's a 50-50 on the
yeah, I know.
the Arrow survival.
Up on the side. The thing is, when it's so obvious, it kind of like flips back to being 50-50, which is always
it's true. Yeah.
Funny.
Oh, get the Discord open. There's
big party.
Yeah, it's a big party. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. It's open mic, by the way, straight into the stream. So jump in while you can. Next, farming up the stacks. Blade Mail will be completed until it's gone. Not having the best start to the game does mean they're kind of sitting on the back foot. Of course, the way Na'Vi played the previous Ats game was like win the lane, he runs through the enemy jungle, like being super annoying. Sure, he goes back to farm the odd stack, but he was reminding them, hey guys, my lane was good. This time, he is playing in a more defensive position. And yeah, Ari does give away level 3 poison to the Rubik. Of course, pretty much the spell that you'll give away every single time to the Rubik.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, 3 and 2 is no big moves being made by the team. We just had that one kind of move up to the top lane from a race so far. Didn't get a whole lot done other than that, but they're just kind of biding their time. Conker has his armlet complete, and with that, they are going to smoke up here.
Yeah, I actually like the fact he went armlet. Some carry Kunkers just go for the Radiance, but in this game against Sven, big physical damage burst. Armlet's quite nice. Being a strength hero, you do gain from the bonus strength, gives you more damage, so you get base damage plus the strength damage. Okay, another torrent onto the SD.
Yeah, goes for the naked jump, and that does work out, but the boat kind of comes flying on through, doesn't really connect, and it's Kaori goes down instead, but they'll move over towards the Tiny, and Tiny, well, he's out of life. Stampede gets used, and they'll bring him down. Nice moves out from L1ga, just bringing everybody to the middle lane and trying to break this game apart, get this stalemate over with.
Yeah, I respect the speed in which they're making the aggression. Right? During the draft, I mentioned that Kunker and Centaur often are more kind of static side lane cores, but L1ga, they don't care about that. They are still trying to bring them into the game, and when you bring 5 heroes mid, and Axe is yeah, I mean, Sven's farming and whatnot, like, you are going to be able to get the kill. So, yeah, really nice rotations from Liga. 7,500 net worth.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, he's doing incredibly well. Yeah, I'm not really expecting Navi to be too crazy on the map, right? Until Blade Mail and Blink is completed on Axe, they do need to chill on Malik. Get very close to the tower, copy with the Blink dagger, then just back underneath the tower.
Yeah,
Way up
Blade
the Blade
Mail
Mail
though,
first,
and
yeah.
stun coming out as well. Amaryllis coming in from the sidelines as well. Nice toss back. It's going to give Malik all the space he needs to survive this. And in fact, there is coming through the gate here. And it's a courier, just kidding. Fading out a little bit as Copy still looking for his quarry, and he is going to find it eventually. One more click will be required. Kaori delivers as the disruption comes out, cancelling the TP out from the Rubik here as well. Amaryllis also going to fall.
Has been
Chum comes in to try and save his chum, but in the end just ends up being another one in the chum bucket.
And the Storms for that entire time was jungling, so he couldn't TP the tier 1 tower, and because of that, the Kunkka also didn't take the twin gate. The Rubik's Courier did, but the Kunkka was like, you know what, this is not my fight to take, and maybe if Storm had more resources, that would have been a different fight, but yeah, Na'Vi can be very happy that they eventually did kill off the Centaur, and then the Rubik. Gave Boom just enough time to get within 300 gold of his Blink Dagger. And the Blink Blade Mail. Kunkka or Storm, if he catches either of them, should be a kill. His team is behind him. Sorry. Use your Polywog boss, get that health going. Oh no, there's
it's
Centaur.
over.
That doesn't mean anything yet, just... I saw Centaur appear on screen, I was like, oh, that's not a, that's a Centaur. Very, very different narrative here.
Yeah, all the man with big weapons.
Yes.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
At the moment, Kunkka farming very, very well for himself. Honestly, Liga, fantastic start to the game. Like, this is a start you can play off. They do need to make plays, but, you know, not at any, like, great pace. They're not on some giga timer. They can hit their timings and look to go. But, yeah, definitely on the rails to have a pretty good game here. Of course, as time goes on, we'd expect EEU to start to take over if the Kunkka doesn't start to get involved in some kills. And Amaryllis once again dropping down on the bottom side again.
Is under attack.
Kaori does not mess around with these golems. Like, they're going on to like a Rubik, and they already have the Avatos, the Sven in the air, so yeah, we're going to golem him too. That does secure the tower, and does enable Kaori to farm up the next wave.
Radiant's middle tower.
Utility items should be available on the Warlock. He is so freely using the golem to farm up in the early game.
Yeah, I think that is a big part of using Golem early on. Like, sometimes it looks a little bit trigger happy, but if you've got an objective to take with it as well, then it becomes super value. And then but then I'll say this, and then the next time we'll see it, and it will just be like in the middle of like the Radiant jungler. I'll be like, well,
I don't think it's that extreme, but yeah, it is very good. I mean, an early Glimmer against Storm Spirit really breaks him. Right? Having that magic barrier, 300 magic barrier, that's now, what, probably a quarter of the Storm's mana pool to get off a Remnant, to do the damage, and to... Oh, it's just rough.
yeah, it's not a game where you're allowed to sit around, sit on a support, waiting for them to come out of invis, waiting for the shield to run out, anything like that. And now, well, heal and disruption coming out. Is the disruption going to last long enough to survive the boat? It is. And Amaryllis has already done the sidelines. Copy jumping in onto a Raze. Raze has plenty of mana to work with, though. It's going to be able to get back away with the zips. He is gone. Kunkka also leaving this engagement as well, so it's just going to be another cheeky kill onto the Rubik.
The entry to the game for EEU pretty much, right, in regards to the big blink reveal, but they only get the Rubik kill, and maybe they turn it into a tier 1 tower top, knowing that Godstrom's going to be on cooldown. Because does give Liga a timing of their own, right, especially because the Centaur is so big. And actually, oh okay, he was going to go for the blink dagger, but opted just to go for a full pipe. So we are going to be looking at a gonna take 18-minute pipe on the Centaur. Look at Uragi, like, yep, I see the TP.
Just camping this Rubik, who's just been killed over and over again. Stop it, man.
No.
1 and 4 now on Marls. Morales getting absolutely shut down.
The entire game from the Rubik has felt like he's on the fringe of just dying relentlessly, right? Like, he gets stunned from the Sven in the laning phase, like he barely lives, and then he gets caught by the Sven in the river. It is a slippery slope for the
That's a bit
Rubik.
tough.
Yep.
Such a nice guy as well. Like, dude, do you know what an Amaryllis is?
I have
Call it
no
an
idea.
Amaryllis in this country. It's a flower. It's a lovely flower. And that's actually the name of his mother's favorite flower, which is why it's called that.
Oh, yeah. I remember that was an interview at Pico Valahia, was it not? By a.
It was indeed.
And it was when we had the.
Season
Okay,
3.
I was gonna make a bad joke there, but no.
Jump in
No, that's good
on
content.
to you, and yeah, he's gone. Conker taken out of the equation. That's a pretty big kill. Violent does not want to be dying like that on the Conker.
This courier has been killed.
Yeah, it's gonna stall out the game, especially because the Kunkka had complete free farm, top net worth, and his team's kind of dying around the map, and then he also eventually does get picked off as well. Na'Vi, their lineup is built around pickers, and they have to ward. They see the Sven, they pop the God Strength, and
Yep, a lot of damage coming in his way. They won't be able to respond to this one, at least before the Sven dies, but maybe they can get a bit of revenge after he dies. Golem coming down onto both the Rubik and onto Malik, but they've got the Stampede to start to get themselves out of this one. Turn around, but Copy, he's there with a big catch onto the two of them. Malik turns around, who stop onto two. Erase, he's waiting for an opportunity here, but it's just not showing itself. They're too close together. Na'Vi holding hands and reminiscing over their fallen Sven with 2 big kills.
and Karo instantly runs to the high ground. He goes, yep, obviously there's a ward here. They just jumped our Sven with ease, and
Is under attack.
it's cool to see a team, especially when you Ari, hold. Yep, he's fine. Oh. Now disrupt. Okay, yeah, he's fine.
I'm going to even bother casting spells on anything. Wow.
Whatever. Congrats, yeah. Again, this was my concern when I see Kunkka get put into the core role, into the carry role specifically. Sorry, it's like, sure, you get the centaur pick that you want. You're gonna have like a good lane for the Rubik, but what happens when the game develops and you're expecting your carry to be able to, kill the enemy carry? I'm just not seeing it at the moment, unless centaur and storm or finding the perfect jump, like what we saw there. But how many times in a game are you expecting Uragi to be perfectly jumped at the start of the fight and no help to be there, no SD save, no nothing?
I was literally just about to criticize Boom of not really having that killer instinct. Like, we saw Storm rock up in the top lane, farm a wave, and then he just runs to the portal and starts TPing across the map, and I was like, this isn't the Axe I know and love. But Boom, one step out of the game, knew that the Storm wasn't a kill, but the Prophet absolutely was. He gets himself a solo kill. Excellent stuff. Smoke up. Na'Vi once again looking to see if they can catch out anybody in this top area of the map. They won't, but guess what, friends? It's 20 minutes. It's time to take down this big old cube.
Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it?
Ari. Easy.
Easy. Yep.
I'm not missing today, Tigo.
That's true. Well, other than the first game of the first series, but let's not talk about that. Got him!
Let it go.
Nope.
It's the orphanage,
All
I
the
swear.
real TI Eastern European close qualifier fans who are here for every single game.
Cool.
Or casters. Or caster, it wasn't.
Morales. Why have they picked Wall Rubik this game? What does
Sorry, say Warlock or Rubik?
Rubik?
Hmm.
Stormhammer? Is that why?
Rubik did get a bit more popularity in the recent event, the online event that we had. It's also from Eastern European teams. So it could just be like a regional thing where they just like it. But yeah, it's not, again, not because Stormhammer so was picked after the Rubik, but there is a Warlock and an SD and a Tiny in the game, right? Like, you could argue if a Tiny gets Avalanche, it's his fight. Sorry, if a Rubik gets Avalanche, it's his fight to win. If he steals Disruption, then he could counters the Axe, right? Like, on paper, Rubik often should have a good fight. The issue is with the hero, you rarely get to like Eighth Lens, you rarely get to the items that enable you to always get your good spells still, and with a Sven, Axe and Tiny, you show yourself for a millisecond, you are going to get jumped, and yeah. On paper it always looks good, in practice, not so much. Let's copy with the shield rune and the DD rune. Finds Malik with the lift up.
He's a little bit of a monster right now. Big toss back onto Malik, forcing out the Stampede, but Yuragi's there to play catch. Does manage to get off the Stormhammer, and now the Stampede runs out, but Yuragi not quite ready for it, but does chase him down regardless. Gets him the kill. But now, there comes the X-Marks coming out, but Ari's there once again. Disruption's coming through, and now the turnaround, but Yuragi's still in trouble. Boom in with the big call, though, coming onto the two of them, forcing them back, and maybe grabbing themselves a kill onto the Kunkka. Some nice toggles, buying him some time, but he is not going to get out of this one. Violent will fall. They won't get the storm, but still, massive fight and keeping Yuragi alive, crucially.
It's only going to get worse when Sven picks up the Daedalus. Anyone who gets hit by a stun will probably just get 2 hit. That is the power of Sven, especially having 14,000 gold at the 23-minute mark. Heroes get deleted. And yeah, you know, the Centaur, he's able to, you know, buy a little bit more time in that fight, get a bit further away. But there just wasn't enough damage, just not enough follow-up for Liga team. You see just the difference in the kind of the mid-game timings for Na'Vi. The avalanche, the toss, the resets, the Sven, the Godstrike damage, and you know, the axe hitting, you know, multi-hero calls with the blade mail. Harry did a decent job at keeping the Sven alive. Sure, still gets hit by the boat, but because of Boom's follow-up, there wasn't a vortex, there wasn't anything on top of Yuragi to keep him inside that tower to get any additional damage. And for Liga, you could argue, so close to maybe finding a turnaround, but for Na'Vi, it was just a really, really strong fight, and they're going to want to replicate that. There's no reason for them to really sit back. Sure, got on a cooldown, but every time
Poppy and Erase just
go.
kind of finding each other now. A toss over to Ari, though, and Ari kind of messes up a little bit. Couldn't get off the disruption, and he'll get away on the storm.
And off they go. And I'm expecting Na'Vi to be, every time you see Hero go at Hero, right? Like there's no reason to chill. I mean, Copy went for boots of travel, right? Like of course he bought that second item pretty much, and it's working out. They are underneath a ward right now. They have yet to deward that. The sentry's on cooldown in SD's inventory, so he wants to deward, but
Oh, that's a really big zip from the storm, but with respect to back him up, who's just picked up this Orchid, there will be an easy kill onto Ari. Do they still want to fight here, Na'Vi, without their support? I don't think so.
I mean, they can if they get the jumper. That's going to be pretty annoying for Ari, right? Like, when you're a support player, you put your sentry into your inventory knowing there's a ward, and then you have to sit there for 6 seconds like, do I want to sit here and de-ward? You know, and then he gets jumped. So feels bad, man.
We've all been there. Still a good game for Na'Vi. 5k gold up. Yuragi absolutely farming up a complete storm. He's got his inventory pretty full. At some point, he's going to swap out this this Quelling Blade and jump out into Boom. Boom. I mean, he doesn't love being initiated on like this, but, well, he does if it gives Yuragi a chance to just annihilate the Rubik. His Rubik Sensor is gone, and there's an ulti coming out from Kaori along with the call. It's a lot of damage. The Golem plus Boom coming in, and now Copy once again there to catch out Malik. Malik just cannot escape, and Yuragi, he is not done. Chasing and chasing and chasing onto this Conquer. Call's going to be there as well. No TP for you. Culling Blade coming down, and that's going to be 3 dead on the side of Liga, and into the Roche Pit they will go.
I don't think League can take the 5-on-5, right? Like, what is their kill threat? The Central jump, the Storm jump, like, there just is no damage, especially when Yuragi has the positioning that, you know, Boom, he just walks up the high ground, he's like, you know what, boys, I'm just an axe, do what you want, and then Rubik puts out one spell, a single spell into the fight, and then a millisecond later, Yuragi's like, you picked Rubik, mate, don't forget, you're dead. Like,
one Echo Saber, and he is out of there.
See, Boom walks up,
This is
of course.
3 crits as well, so pretty insane. Yeah, literally 1-2 gone.
But that's because, to be fair, like the way Na'Vi took that fight is commendable in the fact that they aren't getting carried away by feeling they're in the lead. Sure, they kill Storm after the replay.
Ooh.
You know, that's going to be a very, very good pick-off between Yuragi and Copy. But the way they take that movement, right? Boom walks up the high ground. They know the SD Warlock's behind. Yuragi holds the tree line position. Like, they aren't just randomly walking up the high ground as 3-4 heroes, you know, just talking to each other, right? That is like the discipline of taking that fight, even though it's like a small move. It shows that Na'Vi are always thinking about, okay, what's the optimal way to enter this area? They kill Storm bottom, they find the kill for mid. He isn't put on for 9 seconds. And Stampede, he will be getting away. Oh,
Although Malik's actually going in. He wants to finish off Ari here, and he's going to be able to do that as respect. He's just out.
Boom.
Boom. Doesn't quite land the Berserker's call.
that's a missed call.
Radiant's
Yeah.
top tower is under attack.
If that was a Mar, you already know his quick buy is going to Gleipnir.
Yeah. I like Gleipnir, actually. I think it's funny.
I like the fact that your 5th and 6th item on Axe can be anything you deem is necessary for the game. Let's word it that way.
Yeah, true. Now it would be bad, but get it later on and maybe
Yeah,
we're looking at something more.
More fruity.
Yes. How close was it? I mean,
That looks pretty close.
I mean
That looks pretty close. That was
you saw the little line there.
that line was inside
We
another
get
line. That
VAR?
was, yeah.
Off back onto Violent.
I've seen this before.
Is
Seen the
in
replay.
a bit of trouble. Yeah. Where's the Stampede? It should be coming off any minute now. Uh-oh, doesn't have it. He's dead. EEU gonna chop him up. That's a big death onto the Conquer here, and that's one of those deaths which is really just showing that this game has turned from a good game for Na'Vi into a sort of closing this one out, or at least starting to.
And they already look at the bottom, right? You got Uragi drawing on the minimap, copy TPing. They find the stones for it, but there's no one
They
else in the
don't
neighborhood. Oh, okay, yep.
Nah, he's got
There he is. But that is where Uragi's kind of being like a conductor, right? It's like he's farming the triangle, but still he's like saying, guys, I'm here. They have to be down there. You know, he's telling Copy, go look for them, that hero. Don't allow them to farm those couple of counts. Even if they don't get the kill, just shoving, Liga back into their base is going to feel very, very good. Of course, you can't always do it, right?
Curry
Nature's Prophet.
killed.
He TPs them back in after the fact and takes the farm, but still Na'Vi 9,000 gold lead. Trying to go through the motions to
Radiant's
try to
top
close out this
tower is
game.
under attack.
Be close to each other. Don't allow anyone to get picked off. Choke out the map.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under
Push coming through into the bottom lane. And this one's going to go down with ease. No God's Wand required. Poppy's there with the tree. As Erase is dead on the... Oh, wait.
Yep.
Why?
Yep.
How? And who?
So Axe jumped in with a Blink Blade now.
Uh-huh.
Ari then put some poison on him with a Demonic Purge. And
Wow.
then Boom used the ultimate, i.e. Culling Blade.
Ooh.
Even though it wouldn't do the kill, he did the 575 pure damage. So then Ari can pop him the poison through Zip.
Yeah,
Quite the combination between the two players of the offense.
indeed. Yeah, that'll kill him.
Yeah, and after that, they instantly smoke up and they're going to find the Kunka. They are just playing this map beautifully, finding different heroes across the map, getting constant pickoffs. Now the Storm obviously was dead, now you've chained that to get cool. They're mass TPing from the base, which Priori's pushing with a Golem and a Tiny.
Kaori is pushing with a golem and a timer. Half copy is just demoted to Kaori's minion now. Unlucky, bro. Oh, well, toss back. His minion's doing good things at the moment. Malik drawn back into the span and bye-bye, sir. That big old sword doing crazy things as they'll kill off Amaryllis as well. And yeah, this has gone from a bit of an outplay to an absolute smackdown. Liga, they've really fallen apart in this one. It's just, I mean, partly it's due to the draft, right? Like, Na'Vi have 3 heroes which can kind of jump and find kills. When they get into a position where all of them are having a great game, it's just going to feel impossible, so... Liga.
I said it once, I'll say it again. I don't like the 8-pick Kunka. I mean, Kunka is a hero that you see a couple key aspects of information, then you present the Kunka as a problem in the draft. But opening it up, you provide so many ways to counter it. The Shadow Demon for disruption, the Spend for the outscaling, the Warlock and the Tiny for the pacing of the game. The first pick Kunka really just fell into the hands of Na'Vi and was like, sure, please, have 15k net worth, but that's all you're going to have this game. You're not going to have anything else. Especially not a mid or bottom Rex.
Harry pings the Arcane Rune twice and then blinks on it to take it. Okay, bro. $15k net worth up for Na'Vi. They are looking great here. Liga, what is the play? Well, smoke out. See if anybody comes from mid. Nope, no one's here. Tormentor is up, so they should have an idea about what's going on, and they do. They're heading over. They're already going to grab himself a shard. Some more imps to play around with. They're approaching Liga, but I just don't think they want to approach Na'Vi when there is 5, and they kind of know they are. They have enough information. They're thinking about it, though. They are considering this as their ward gets killed in front of their faces.
So what if they 100-0 Sven and no one on Na'Vi presses the spell? Very unlikely, but I think that's the only comeback option as Malik aggroes the creeps and...
What? Reveals everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Not how I thought they were going to start this one, but maybe it works. Who knows? Let's see. Ray's jumping into the backlines, trying to kill off Kaori and doing an absolutely terrible job at it. Cannot do a thing. Meanwhile, Golem gets dropped in the middle of everybody. Slow down Malik's approach. Boom, just jumping on top of Respect, and Yuragi comes over and deals the damage. Copy deals with Amarellis in the meantime. A jump back, but once again, Copy, he's just always there. He's got his number. Erase will be able to zip out of this one for now, and he's getting kind of low on Copy, but meanwhile, Violence is being chased by Boom and Yuragi, and there's the Cole coming in to put an end to his game. Malik trying to fight up, but he cannot do it all. Boom takes him down. Another culling blade coming down from the axe. And Yuragi, he's looking in for more, and he's finding more. A buyback from the Rubik just to take a sword to the neck again. He's out of here. Die back onto the Rubik. And Liga, I don't think there's a whole lot left in the paint can.
We'll see if Storm and Centaur can 2v5 potentially with the Prophet, but I'm just being blindly optimistic for the sake of the cast. Yeah, Na'Vi, they're winning game 1, boss.
The Rays found this regen lane, zipped all the way out and zipped all the way onto the top lane. They'd probably not kill anybody and die with no mana, but it would be cool. Alright, well, I'll be playing into Megas, but it'll be one more fight for Liga. They don't want to call it yet.
Ooh, they tried to get for the jump. 3-man Storm. That's about it. Yuragi is low. Mega's low.
Demonic Cleanse, a little bit of Shadow Word as well. Boom jumps in with the call. Down goes Erase again. Copies there, just dealing the damage as well. Onto the back lines. Respect will go along with Violent. Again, trying to get Yuragi, trying to catch him. But he does pop the God Strength once again. It's off cooldown.
Stun in 3.
Oh. Yeah, let's see. Harry, is he actually going to die here? Will the team let him die? No, they will not. Jumping in again. Boom's there with the call. Nobody can die on the side of Na'Vi. They won't let them. He's going to drop as well as Violent will fall. And finally, there it is. GG, well played. They wanted to give it one more go. The Oxford try, but it's not quite enough. GG is called as Na'Vi take game number 1, 35 minutes in.
Not really, they're looking to me.
Phase. That's what we're going to be finding out here in game number 2. Na'Vi versus Liga in the upper bracket with Na'Vi 1 game up. Of course, Liga do get to survive to fight another day if they drop a game here, so they will lose the series, but they'll go into the lower bracket to continue fighting for their spot at TI. You really don't want to be setting Na'Vi and Aurora up on this sort of pacing to just be heading on a collision course towards each other. You want to be a threat. Na'Vi, big smoke, once again, looking for action. Won't be finding it. Ping's coming out, although there is Respect in the trees here, but there's no heroes to catch them, so Respect will back out. Absolutely fine.
It's kind of funny that Na'Vi make the same move again. Like, not to say it's disrespectful, but Liga did fall for it in the game 1. Like, do you think in game 2 they're like, you know what, lads, let's just stand in the jungle and die again? It would have been kind of fun to see Na'Vi play like a bit of a 50-50, right? Where it's like, you know what, game 1 will go here, game 2 will go there. Liga, of course, adapting, understanding the motions that Na'Vi do in the start of the game, and they dodge it nicely in game 2. Of course, future teams who want to go up against Na'Vi need to respect this smoke. They are a team that smokes always for the kill, it seems, at least in this series.
That is abusable as well. If you feel like you have something stronger to answer with, then you can certainly bully. And they also always do this as well. Bully somebody up in the top lane as they try to get to the lane. The Axe is very well kind of played by Navi at this point. That also means that it can be very easily read. Alright, still sticking around, but Kaori will soon head off. What do you reckon? One Fatal Bonds? Yeah, one Fatal Bonds. Oh my god, they're going for this. They're going for this right now. The level 1 attempt onto the Shadow Fiend under the tower. Are you kidding? Boom. Getting first blood onto Violent in a really, really brutal manner.
There is no pressure in the bot lane, right? Like, the Darks is not going to suddenly threaten the Bristleback, which means you do have an extra like minute or two of freedom on the position 5. And
No way. Courier goes down as well. I mean,
yeah.
Ari loses his courier in response, I guess, but
a fair trade.
fair trade indeed. And he does still have tango. I was worried that was his minute 0 tangos, and I was like, okay, this is just over.
This is the spare. That's how you're going to be seeing a lot more from Koyori, right? Like, once the Bristleback hits maybe level 3, level 4, I wouldn't be surprised if the Warlock takes another trip to the Twin Gate. Especially if the lane is pushed up closer to the Radiant Tower. There are plenty of kill opportunities. With the Flame Break repositioning, the Battle Hunger slow. Shadow Fiend can die many, many times in this lane if he's not careful.
Of course, a lot of interesting lanes. A lot of lanes which could be convincing one way or the other. SF, he's kind of a feast or famine sort of hero. Tiny at mid. Could get into trouble from the Pangolier as well.
In the last game, they just kind of ditched a race in the mid lane. They didn't even bother trying to help him out. And
They really did.
probably got every rune, right? Yeah. So that's another adjustment I'd like to see. Naga Siren, of course, the illusions. You can send them out to the runes. They're not in position. Ari just diving onto the Shadow Fiend. That's
That is aggressive. It's very, very aggressive. No, but they'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Right clicks coming through, but Boone does go down, so Violent gets a return kill as Ari continues trying to stack up the stacks onto Respect, and Respect has got the mirror image, so it doesn't really care. It does get it forced out, which means that mana is going to be lacking. Ari, does he want to contest for this Lotus in 15 seconds? I'm going to have both the other cores back to help out with this.
I mean, your carry Shadow Fiend's already got like the 2-minute 50 pair of boots, right? Like you know he doesn't want to be anywhere near the Bat Rider or the Axe. Trying to run away from his problems. Yeah, even the fluffy hat, right? Sure, that's probably going to become a Falcon Blade, right? But weirdly enough, though, the fact that Axe dies, I'm pretty sure Ari's kind of happy. He's like, you know what, solo XP on a Bat Rider. Once he gets to level 4, I believe you take Firefly then, and that's when diving towers are really good.
Fortify from the top lane here to go onto the Shadow Fiend again. This is unusual. Is it going to pay off? They'll need a little more. He's coming in with the sticky napalms. Ari will not leave Violent alone. Another kill onto the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah. It's rough.
It's very unusual that we get to see the Fortify being used in the side lanes like this, but yeah, I mean, absolutely worthwhile in this situation. Gets you a kill onto the enemy carry.
An enemy carry that doesn't have a TP for 14 seconds, so yeah, either has to walk back to lane or just sit in base and watch the lane just trickle away from him.
Patrick, could we take a look at this Shadow Fiend, please? Sitting in the base. Thank you.
Yep, you're going to TP. 2, 1. Now, do you think he insta-dies? He has TP very aggressively.
Yeah. Well, he's getting good damage off onto Boom here. Boom
Nice.
might
Raise.
just be falling. Yeah, there
fair
you go.
play.
Damage comes in. All right, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. I was waiting for like the way he was TPing there. It's like if Ari's a little bit closer and you don't hit all 3 raises, you're probably gonna die again. But no, he clutches it up, hits the raise, gets the ensnare, drags them underneath the tower, and yeah, Boom gets punished for his aggression.
Malik. He's pretty deep down in the bottom lane, but of course has got the surge. Has got the. I just want to get him away from this creep wave, and he still gets the iron shell off. And now comes and aggroes it anyway.
Yeah, he has to play behind the tower. He can't just sit in the lane against the Bristleback. He'll keep getting cooled down, and that's kind of the problem, right? When you got a Warlock there as well, like the Warlock can just shove a heal on you, just run around, just keep annoying you. It's not as simple
okay.
as, yeah.
0-1 charges.
I wanna
with
say
Shadow
no.
Word and yeah. Well, he gets a
Yeah.
deny.
The Shadow Fiend's died twice. Your offlane has denied himself to a neutral camp because of a Warlock. It's not really setting the scene of a happy early game for Liga, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe
nah.
at the 6-minute rune that can change, right? Tiny gets a haste rune or something. Start making moves to the side lanes. Would be
Right.
an option.
Disgruntlement came from the Avalanche toss combination, but you've got Crash Landing and he tosses the Pango himself rather than using the creep. Just a little bit of positioning error. And now Kaori running into the middle lane. Erase does not have a lot of health here, but Copy doesn't have a lot of mana, so this is just them trying to secure themselves the 6-minute rune and also a decent amount of damage. Amaras comes in though, and they will not be hanging out poor old Erase to dry once again here. This time around, both supports come in, they secure the rune. Even get themselves an Observer Ward in the process as well, so Ray's going to get a little bit of the pressure taken off, but still probably going to have to go back to base here. Countering is up. I think last hits maybe a little bit misleading in this game, just because of the amount of kills we've had, especially onto big 4 heroes. Yeah, net worth looking a little bit different. I'm not super concerned though. Like, sure, Erase isn't having the nicest of times, but other side lanes are going okay for now. Again, I don't think OK quite cuts it for Liga in this draft they've kind of put together, but
Hearing a little bit of coke in your voice, it's fine.
yeah, I was hoping for a competitive one here. And with Shadow Fiend being ganked by Yuragi, I'm not convinced we're getting it, but
It's not always that in a draft I go all in on like my fear for someone's lineup, right? But yeah, my fear really is it's coming to light. The comeback play, we're gonna already be looking at like, Tiny getting a blink dagger, look at a toss into Requiem, like this type of stuff. With Darkseer, it's not really that value of a Darkseer game outside of the I have sleep, I vacuum them all for the big Requiem. Like, what, taking a wall of a Bristleback, that's not really that impactful, right? Taking a wall of an Axe, not that good. Taking a wall on a Pangolier, it really is hard for the Darkseer to see his purpose in the early game outside of his team having good time. And that's why it does compound to. It's only a 1,000 gold lead, but it's going to grow.
to add on to that as well, who's your Iron Shell buddy? Where's your Nyx Assassin? Where's your Tusk? Where's your Bat
It's going to
Rider?
probably be the Tiny. You're going to have to throw your mid laner into the mix, but yeah, having a cheaper form of body for the Iron Shell is quite nice. And
Exactly. Still,
with
I
an
mean,
sorry,
you know,
get the illusions.
it's all worth it if they land that big combo, that big moment. But of course,
Gonna get Doom here.
they are indeed, yeah. Boom is getting forward out, thrown back into the Bramble. That's a combo which you always like to see. And Erase is going to be the one to secure that kill as well with the tree. Nicely done from him to make sure that he does get the kill credit, the extra bit of gold, and secure his game a little bit more.
Ari has 2 Tranquil Boots in his quick buy. Do you think he's going to accidentally buy them? I'm going to go with no.
Yeah, he's using the new Dota Plus feature. He queues stuff up, so the moment he has money, he's just going to instant purchase.
True.
Malik going down on the bottom side. Ari and Yuragi are teaming up, stacking up those quills, stacking up that napalm. Oh my god, Kaori just throws a golem at Amaras's faces. And hey, if he gets you the tower, then why not?
It's the tower golem. We saw it in game 1. We're going to see it in game 2.
Kaori is a very simple man. If there is a hero near a tower, I will golem them. Whether they die or not is not my concern.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Copy now has the Diffusal Blade. He kind of rushed it. Yeah, he did. He had just Wand and the Blight, but now with the Diffusal Blade, the Golem walking towards mid. It's got another 20 seconds on it. Let's secure the 10-minute rune. That's a regen in the bot side of the map. And Shadowfiend, okay. Poking his head into the enemy jungle to take a couple stacks, and meanwhile you're getting some pressure onto your tower.
In fairness, that stack was just made by Respect, so
Dire's
no
nice.
thievery taking place here.
No thievery. Back runner, of course, 10 minutes in won't have a blink dagger, and your golem is on cooldown. So the pressure is going to relax for for a minute or two. After the lanes, Navi, you do need to sit back, be just efficient, grab an item, and then you go again. Of course, unless the opportunity presents itself. Harry being very
looking
aggressive.
for
in the bot lane,
Malik
looking at
here, has got the lasso available, and he wants Malik to use the surge, but Malik will not be doing so. There's no such thing. Even Respect coming in on this one, throwing over the ensnare, reel in.
He has the Cobalt Cup, so going to be quite quick here, but yeah.
Malik's more than quick enough. Harry with a bit of a feed down here in the bottom side.
He was trying to be a bit of a cheeky devil, you know. He saw the Darkseid area, he wanted to farm the wave and the jungle, be really efficient, take away some camps, but yeah, Darkseid was already there, and he's like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Get out of the jungle.
Easy punish. The power of the Nagasaran support as well. The repositioning ability of Reelin is pretty insane.
It does feel like the calm before the storm, right? Like, okay, this working up. The storm's coming. Which core is going to run into it? Oh, Amaryllis. Yeah, beautifully tank the smoke and...
Over the top lane, however, Boone being grabbed by the Shadow Fiend. There is a Blade Mail coming out, as you will just about survive it. Ari looking to punish here, but in comes the song, not the Requiem. Song used. Respect says, don't worry, buddy. Save your cooldown. I'll get you out of this one. And does do so beautifully. Respect is just ruining Ari's game, but over towards the middle lane, Amaryllis getting golemed, getting, okay, fatal bonds, and doesn't seem to care. Navi showing us some cracks here, as Ray's going to be able to get on top of the Warlock and kill off Kaori. So another kill going their way. Yuragi trying to get on top of Ray's. Ray's very low. Oh my god, Arala. I had some bad things to say about Amaryllis there. I take it all back. I didn't say them, but I take back the unsaid words. He gets out absolutely fine. Great read, as Respect does die. Harry ain't done. Maybe Harry should be done. But Harry has a lasso, so he doesn't want to be done. And he's got a Yuragi as well. Fear going to actually miss here, so yeah, they can get both of them. Nice job here from Ari, just baiting it out long enough to get them both the kills. Erased with the 3-man Avatos. Brings down Ari. Yuragi still fine, though. Still looking for this tower. In comes a Shadow Fiend from the side. Oh, misses the raise, though. If he doesn't start getting some of these raises off, he could be in some trouble himself, as a raise getting brought down under the tower. And see you later, buddy. Finally, a move on to the Pangolier. Copy does lose his life. Yuragi, gotta be careful. You gotta respect the damage that can come out from this Shadow Fiend here. And I think finally Yuragi will take his foot off the accelerator and let Liga breathe for now.
To say that he's still running back in. He's got the 13-minute Lotus Orb. Like, he is very, very strong. He does not care about any root or anything that can be thrown down. He can just instantly spell it. And he throws out the Seeing Red.
Yeah,
Nice,
there you go.
bro. I'm running at you. But that's it. Let's chill for a second.
The
Navi, there was some
Lotus
cracks,
Orb.
right? Like, in regards to that play, the Axe dying top, Bat trying for the kill. Meanwhile, the Pango and the Warlock get their smoke broken by Dark Willow. They commit, have to disengage. So the roll was wasted. Then the Golem, you could argue, was wasted until Liga then continued the fight. And yeah, it was up and down, but critically, Navi started the engagement not the cleanest, but still was able to capitalize on Liga, getting baited into a fight, and that is where Navi's draft does look so strongly. They love the scrappy skirmishes in the chase down. I think the silver lining to this is the Shadow Fiend and the Darkseid at least are keeping up with the farm. Sure, Tiny is ever so slowly falling behind, but the fact that the Shadow Fiend has got the Mask of Madness, the Falcon Blade, and at least sees a path for his game is good. This could have been so much worse. You know, he's 2-4-2. Like, it's not looking pretty, but I had visions of this game being so much worse. Copy uses the roll. Of course, doesn't care about song. But we'll chill out for a second, actually.
Reelin.
They are mass TPing on Navi.
I'm not sure you want this, Liga. I'm not sure you want this smoke, but they are here on everybody. They want to see if they can land a combo, perhaps. And yeah, there you go. Toss back onto the Bristleback. Yuragi gets taken out. Great play there. Violent gets a kill, and now wall out from Malik as well. They're looking for more with the vacuum coming through. They're going to be able to find it. Kaori falls. Copy dead as well. Hello, Liga. Welcome to the series.
kind of joked about how Toss Requiem could be like the way that they win the fight, but I didn't expect to see it so early. Okay, normally that's like your high ground defense or something, kind of like, oh no, the game's looking real despair, but yeah, 15 minutes in, they see Uragi and Toss Requiem, see you later, boss, and Na'Vi just don't feel like they're on the same page, at least in the last 3 to 4 minutes, right? Okay, we'll see a replay of this beautiful fight here.
I was saying I didn't
back.
think Liga won this, but in reality, like, Boom was just waiting for his Blink Dagger. He basically had the money for it. Why is Na'Vi there? Like,
But that's like the last 4 minutes, right? It's like when your smoke breaks mid, Boom's dying top, then you take the fight mid. I think you're very lucky to get kills there. I think a disciplined team wouldn't even engage. They just accept the fact they dodged it. And then again in bot lane, Copy uses the roll on the Naga Siren, doesn't really connect. The team TP's in, Tiny outplays, right? So it's just Na'Vi doing a lot on the map. And unlike the last game, the last series, all those map plays compounded to kill, 10k gold. Oh my god, it's amazing. This is like the first time that we're seeing Na'Vi make the same type of plays they have been doing, but get outplayed at the moment. And, you know, that is good for Liga, at least. It shows signs of life in the series. They are stopping that constant skirmishing pressure that Na'Vi has leaned on so far. And that network, we said that the Shadowfiend and Darkseer were like keeping up, you know, with the axe, maybe not the bristle. Now they're already within, you know, a couple hundred gold of actually getting to the bristleback, who was having such an amazing game.
yeah, but that's the thing. You buy this Lotus, you're kind of expecting to be the frontliner who's somewhat untouchable and putting on pressure, playing the game. You get caught out once like this and it just completely deflates you. You have to really kind of change your attitude as Ari running from a raise here. A raise a little late there on the avalanche, but it gets really awkward in those trees being able to put eyes into the Batrider. He did have the blink on Ari, so a little bit weird. Hello.
Hello. Oh, bye.
Yeah, hello, buddy. See ya, buddy. Bye-bye, buddy. All right, yeah,
I like the buddy system that Liga have. That's like they keep moving around the map, respecting that any minute, Axe or a Bat or a Pango could just jump you and start the fight. So I really actually like the fact that Liga are always like within proximity to take a 5-on-5 if Na'Vi were hungry enough to look for it.
And one thing which is sort of interesting is Shadowfiend using the tier 2 Dormant Curio. So we see Ari kind of getting brick walled up against here. Can he get out with the vacuum? Absolutely not. Gets brought down again. Scott Rocket out from Bristleback though. Should allow them to close the gap, but uh-oh. This is looking a little bit awkward here. Requiem, Wall, all gonna come down at the same time here. Boom. Can he get off the call? No, he cannot. He gets vaporized as they just all drop on the side of Na'Vi, and Bristleback will be going down as well. I mean,
I would like
was
to
what we were
formally
waiting for.
apologize to all the Liga fans. I did not expect your team to be able to execute in the early game to match the aggression of Na'Vi. I did not expect your draft to come online this quickly due to the fact that Na'Vi was so damn good in Game 1 and the previous series. I'd like to again formally apologize. I take everything back. The Tiny is the MVP. He is crushing the game. Thank you very much. I hope you accept my apology. Right, sorry, I had to do that for legal reasons. Anyway, moving on. Mike,
fun. I think
gosh, they're
everybody's
fighting well.
Yeah, everybody's kind of doing their role here, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, in this session here, like, they're respecting the Batrider enough to the point where they're not just throwing heroes at him, but they're very carefully using their spells. Song's still up, and then, yeah, you jump in on Boom here onto a Dark Willow. You know what's going to happen. The Song's going to be there right as the Pango enters the fight as well.
The simplest takeaway from that fight, though, is it's kind of on copy, right? Because, like, your Axe jumps in, you're kind of greedy on the Pangolier going for the swash. Copy's job at this early game is to be the stun during Song, to be that Rolling Thunder, right? You know that if you're jumping a hero, expect the Naga Song. Don't fully commit with the swash and the shield crash, hoping to maybe get the Rolling Thunder off after. I think if Copy just takes a breather for a second, like, you got the Blink Blade on the Axe. He can kill heroes by himself. He doesn't need the hero. So the fact that the Pangolier didn't use the Rolling Thunder was enough to give the no BKB Shadowfiend the perfect setup and positioning for Na'Vi. It was great in Game 1, but this game, they're kind of getting baited by themselves.
Na'Vi, if they get baited here, it could be really bad. No, they won't. They're trying to leave. Copy gonna actually use the Rolling Thunder into the TP away.
Oh.
Oh. I thought that Shadow Fiend was about to go on an adventure.
Yeah, I would love it if he did. That'd be great.
If only.
Oh, they're TPing in.
Okay, Golem's going to get killed off very quickly here. L1ga are hungry, man. They've tasted blood in the water, and they don't want to stop. And they know there's no Rolling Thunder available, so Copy's going to be going down as well.
I mean, this is the fight from L1ga that I was expecting in 10 minutes time, right? I thought the game would just be harder. So the fact that they've been able to create this, and it already feels like they've kind of broken the tempo of Na'Vi, right? EEU on the Bristleback, he went from being top net worth of a Lotus Orb to dying once or twice, and now he's like stumbling his way to an Aghanims. And once he gets Aghanims, he then needs the BKB, right? It's the Bristle that could have done it all now needs to recover. Again, there is some pretty big items on the way for Na'Vi, at least. The Bat's kind of close to a BKB, the Axe is close to a BKB. So there will be like a second wind in Na'Vi's aggression. But by the time those items come out, then Shadow Fiend will have his own BKB. Darkseid might even have a Shiva's tiny weather BKB. It's, the fight in a couple minutes time will really be just a clash of two very, very powerful lineups. It's just a matter now of who jumps who.
Yeah. Of course, L1ga have a slight advantage in that regard, especially with the Aegis in hand, Song available. Their team fight is very, very good. Na'Vi a little bit more pick-off focused, but the fight shouldn't look too bad if Copy is to use a Rolling Thunder quickly. He's got a lot of pressure on him to be the combo breaker. Is Ari getting punished once again for trying to catch a wave at mid. Does kill off just over half of it, but still not feeling great for him at the moment. He wants his Blink Dagger to be able to just start the fights from a bit further away. Maybe regretting this Aghanim Scepter purchase. A little bit.
The item was fine. It's just the fact that him having it is now in a window where BKBs are in play, so it's like, once he gets to Basher, ooh, it's going to look really good, right? It's just that the one big death in mid lane. Actually, I guess there's two fights. It's the death's bottom, where they try to go on the Naga, and then the fight here where they go on the Willow and get Song. Like, there's two major team blunders from Na'Vi, which gave L1ga so much energy for this game, and Axe is dead top.
Yeah, he's just trying to cut a wave and then go to the Ancients.
Rocking up. Yeah, there's Shadow Fiend there.
Yeah, this is a pretty easy kill, actually. Oh, never mind. Song comes out from Respect, hiding in the tree lines, hitting that reset button. Can they do anything else, though? Copy without his blink just can't come in. Violent hasn't actually left, though. Neither has Malik. And they're going to be able to try and get a kill onto the Batrider here, and might actually just work. Yeah, Ari just slapped down by Violent in a matter of seconds. Goodness.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Age sight in 30 seconds. I'll keep looking at the items from both teams. Okay, EEU. I mean, there's no wall, there's no Song. You can be a little bit more aggressive if you want to.
Yeah, they have all their cooldowns, but Na'Vi just don't feel the impetus to go and make something happen.
Astro's gone on for 20 seconds. Getting that back up would be pretty helpful. But Wraith, he's giving them no time to breathe. He's running behind the tower. He has a BKB. He's looking for the backline. He finds Warlock.
They have to punish this. Kaori's got to get that golem off. He will, but it doesn't really land on anybody. And the NK come with the vacuum, but Rolling Thunder is out this time around. Not doing a whole lot with that Requiem either, though Copy he cannot stand his ground versus Shadow Fiend, even inside the Rolling Thunder. Now a toss back onto the Axe, but boom, it gets him up for a really nice call here. He's going to be able to take down Raze at the very least, but does die himself. And now Shadow Fiend just continuing to attack through this fight. So much damage coming out from this SF. EEU trying to get off these quills, trying to get off the damage. It might be enough to kill him off. It is, and his Aegis is gone. EEU, the king of the fight, looking to finish this one off. Malik, is there anything he can do to help out Respect? I don't think so. Respect eventually just going to... Oh, I say that. They're coming back in. EEU, he's getting low, but he's also very close to a rampage as well. Is he going to get it? He wants to stick around for it, but there's a wall coming out from Malik. I think Malik might be the winner of this one. EEU's got anything left? I don't think he does.
Oh,
And there you go. Malik with 9 heroes just lying dead across the battlefield. The only one left standing.
he's about to be level 20. Like,
Oh
you
my
get a
God.
solo kill on an ultra kill. Bristleback did so much damage, but that fight, that is where if you're Na'Vi right now, you know that should have been the fight 2, 3, 4 fights ago. You shouldn't have, squandered your early game advantage. You made it difficult on yourself, and finally we see signs of life from them. Because Liga, they go so deep behind the tower. Tiny
Jesus,
by himself.
Sorry, 5,600 XP gained by Malik in that
Whew.
fight. And that's honestly what kept him alive. Like, if you watch his health bar during this fight, like, he's kind of like on half health here, but then a little bit later on, heroes will start to die. He'll start getting the levels up. Yeah, gotta be honest, that toss back from Erase, maybe not the best. Made things a little
Also,
awkward to start this one off.
The Axe didn't have BKB there. I think it was on his courier flying out to him, but he didn't have the BKB. So, like, what if the Axe had BKB then? With the blink call, he doesn't die, they're dying. Now Axe is alive to assist with the bristleback and have the chase down. Malik won't return in. He's level 17 here, of course, when he gets the kill on Uragi. And the kill on the Warlock, he then bumps up to basically level 20. But yeah, it's...
He's like, I'm going to kill you right. Wait a minute. I need a quick top up on some health and mana here.
Oh,
Thank you
my,
very
look
much.
at that. Oh,
It's crazy.
Radiant's bottom tower is
what a
under
beautiful innate, actually.
Yep. Aggrandize. When Darkseer levels up, he restores a percentage of his max health and mana.
I'm just happy this game was very, very competitive. It really had the makings of something very different, but yeah, Liga. They don't want to be sent to the lower bracket. They want to be the team that has potentially 2 chances to take down Aurora. Of course, you got to play in the best of 3 in the upper bracket finals. If you are to beat them there, they probably will return to the grand finals to see you again. So I think every team in the qualifier wants to get to that upper bracket finals to have as many chances to learn and to play against Aurora as possible before you get the best of 5 against them. As we're into the later stages of the game, Na'Vi, they do need their offlane duo to have good entries to the fight. Of course, Shadow Fiend, big stand your ground style hero, get that BKB, get the Requiem, unleash with a flurry of right click, and of course both Axe and Batrider hard counter this logic, be it with the call or the lasso.
They
So it's
need
between
this
Boom or
Roshan
Ari to
really,
do
like,
this. Yeah.
even with the BKB, it's just so much easier for Violent to play the game if he's got that Aegis in hand.
He does have a Daedalus. He does so much damage with the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, but that Daedalus is also going to be his downfall if the Boom does
Sure.
find him. But Boom going on the back lines, finding out the Naga Siren, and, well, messing up the Cull. Might get the song off here, but Copy, he's going to fix Boom's mistakes and make sure he stays alive. But Ari just killed off by Violent once again, and Copy, he's in an awkward position with no Rolling Thunder. He's going to fall as well. Being one of the back lines, Morales just causing so many issues here, and in comes Malik once again with the wall. Vacuum going to be available soon, but doesn't really find a target for it. They'll just make sure they kill off Kaori instead, and he will die. Na'Vi get wiped off the map here, forced back into their base by Liga, who are taking control of this game too.
The jumps from Na'Vi just aren't clean enough. Sure, I mean, they carry Shadow Fiend with a Daedalus versus the bristleback of an Aghanim, right? It's night and day the damage they can do, but for Na'Vi, they want to stop the Naga Siren, but it takes them an additional 6, 7, 8 seconds to get that kill, and in doing so, their formations just ruined.
And
Very
into
happy
the
to get the
pit.
Roshan. Yeah.
These scary fights for Shadow Fiend just made so much easier when everybody
Look at the
shows their
replay,
hand on Na'Vi first.
It's like boom, they jump onto Naga Siren, they miss the Cole, and then doing so, Amoralis on the high ground, he then combos up the Warlock, threatens there. Batrider jumps in to instantly die to a Shadow Fiend. Now Copy's still next to the Shadow Fiend, he dies to him. Like, they're not together. It's all one by one, and Dark Willow, he kind of creates this imaginary wall between the kind of the supporting force of Na'Vi to get into the fight, whilst Batrider and Pango, they're just standing victim to the Daedalus, and yeah, Shadow Fiend. You need to control his right clicks, and you also need to stop the Naga from singing. So yeah,
Radiant's middle tower
good luck playing against him.
think like, there's some idea where Ari and Boom both jump at the same time. Boom goes for like whoever he sees first, and then frees up Ari to go for another target, trying to catch out the Shadow Fiend potentially. But yeah, this isn't the way to do it. Just a little too gung ho. Just play it slower, play it smarter. I think Na'Vi can still probably take fight, but I mean with this Aegis, it's just way too difficult.
I mean, I think they need the fight to develop a little bit more, right? They're kind of playing on the explosive entry that they've been doing in all of their games, right? But that does change when there's so much damage. Like, if Bristleback can soak up the start of the fight, there isn't a clear way of killing him, right? Like, Shadowfiend has to right-click him several times, Tiny can... Like, it needs to be a lot of teamwork to kill off the Bristleback. So maybe then it exploits...
Oh, talking about the Bristleback. There's a toss-back coming in the middle lane, but not very far. Yeah, they're going to get a lasso off onto Darkseer here, actually, and this has been one of the huge problems. Call to come out as well. Respect brings the song of her people, and under the cover of that Ghost Scepter, Malik will be able to get away, and now comes out that ulti from Violent, but they've lost the Naga Siren here. They are running out of resources a little bit here on L1ga. Rolling Thunder's about to end, in which case it could be trouble. Big damage coming out of the Shadow Fiend, though. They might be able to take his first life, but Boom goes down at the same time. Not ready for them hands on the Shadow Demon. Shadow Fiend, sorry, as Kaori's Golem going to get killed off on the side.
Flying back from the Naga Siren. Okay. So Na'Vi have shown that they can kill the Shadow Fiend once. That's important.
But no Golem, no Rolling Thunder. Nothing really to threaten anybody. And yeah, Raze wants to take full use of this. Throwing back Kaori. Kaori just gets obliterated. Just a pair of smoking boots where he used to stand. Ran out from the Darkseer, of course, utilizing this Ghost Scepter. A call comes out. It's only onto the Willow. You don't want to overcommit to this and set yourself up for a Raze to go in for another toss back onto Boom, but Boom runs himself out. He's going to be okay. They've lost another buyback coming out from L1ga here. If Na'Vi can keep on bleeding them, this could get awkward for L1ga. In fact, I'd say it's already a little bit awkward for them. Buybacks from both teams, but the Aegis push failing.
You know what I think the solution is for Na'Vi? Ready? Ghost Scepter.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'm gonna already give you the answer, but
I was gonna come up with it.
oh, sorry, mate. You've just been too on form today. I was worried that you were gonna keep.
You need to get in there fast.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Appreciate
sorry,
that.
no time for you, no man. If I keep talking, then it's. But okay, the way that L1ga are winning the fights is explosive physical damage, right? And like you see from the quick buys, both Bristle and Pangolier are thinking about AC. Hopefully they both don't buy it, but with one Ghost Scepter, you use that, you go Ethereal, you can eat through the Shadow Fiend BKB, any form of his duration of BKB dwindling, and then you can take the fight after. So unconventional, of course, to pick it up, but I know the 33, for example, has done it several times, and 4 seconds of Ghost Scepter. When your BKB gets to 6 seconds, that's pretty good numbers. They're looking for 4-staffs. They're looking to kite. Both Batrider and Axe are looking to pick up a 4-staff.
All right, so
Kaori, though, he knows. Yeah, he's got Ghost Scepter queued up.
Yeah, I'd really like to see it from the bat as well, but for now, Ari's sticking to the Force. Always a nice item to have on the Batrider, but
sure. I think I can understand the bat going for it because, like you said, you get to the high ground. If you can displace the Shadow Fiend from hitting the tier 3 to under tier 4s, you're going to be killing him. That's fine. But it's between the Pang or the Bristle. I think one of them just needs to pick up an item to survive the fight slightly longer for the Axe or Bat to thrive. And they are supposed to +5 right now. They are looking. Amaralis
in a great position here, but boom! Oh, the blind catch onto the both of them, but immediate song coming out from Respect, ruining everything here. Copy, though, he's still got that Rolling Thunder coming through, and there comes the ulti on the sidelines. Requiem coming down. Ari forced to BKB and back himself out. Another call coming down, this time onto Amaralis again, and they will kill off the Willow. Na'Vi, do they want to stick around and keep this going? They sure do. There ain't no song, there ain't no Requiem, but Raze is there with a toss once more, doing the damage to your Raggy. Raggy on the run. He runs back in, the Madman, and there's a Golem coming down, but it's a little too late. They've already lost Boom, and over on the sidelines, Ari's been caught by Respect. He's trying to get himself away, but a singular click from Violent will put an end to his little bat life.
Yeah, the fight from Na'Vi there, once again, just disjointed, right? It's you survive the song, you go for the jump, but then you're actually jumping back in without the BKB, so he instantly disappears to the Shadow Fiend. You know, Bristol's trying to do as much damage as possible, but the roll was used during the song. The lasso hasn't connected. You know, they've got nothing's really working out for them. And the Shadow Fiend got so much damage. They have Silver Edge. Sure, the break was instantly gotten rid of by the BKB, but the toss back from the Tiny, forcing Bristle back deeper into the engagement, was just enough time for the Shadow Fiend to get the right clicks.
Up to the high ground we go.
Yeah.
No Aegis, no problems.
Bad.
They just have to get some control on this Shadow Fiend. Like, he cannot be allowed to free cast every fight like this. Erase once again with the toss back. Copy though, he's got the roll up, but the roll up's actually giving him issues here. But there's a lasso coming out from Ari. It drags him out of position. Requiem not available for another 8 seconds, but Yuragi, he can't get off the damage. He's just going to be able to walk himself out of this one, and Copy can't come close. He'll get one shot by the guys, so they'll just leave on the side of Liga despite Ari's best attempt to now toss back into the Requiem. Yuragi, he's gone once again. Buyback available, and he might need to use it if they want to keep these barracks alive. Liga showing no signs of slowing down here. Catapult's doing the work for them. Once again, Erase, he goes looking. He is cooking.
The guy is keen.
Yeah, he's...
Look at Kaori. Look at him just standing right next to him like, I'm going to have people forever.
Ow. Ow. Oh, I'm taking a lot of damage here. BKB's coming out from just about everybody as Malik jumps in. Doesn't really matter though. Kaori is already dead. They just cannot protect him. Yuragi once again just trying to get onto the Shadow Fiend, trying to chase Violent out of the fight. He can't get off his damage though. He can't find his targets. Malik taking absolutely no damage here from Yuragi. As on the backlines, Boom tries to go in but gets caught out and dies. No buyback available from this axe right now. Yuragi as well could be in trouble once again. Violent just smacking and smacking away. The Shadow Fiend is untouched, unbeatable, and they know it. GG gets called. Game number 2. It goes to Liga, bringing us to a game number 3 in the final series of the day.
Yeah, and I'll say with confidence, right? The fact that in the draft, I was really concerned.
Also, not just that it put pressure on Copy, but almost more so, it's putting pressure onto Kaori, who's now in this position 5 Batrider. He needs to make stuff happen. And without the vision, it's going to be kind of difficult.
No, we just don't have to. It's very well rounded. Like I don't really see many holes in it. And I mean, the nice thing is, like, if the game does go late, Gyrocopter, you're trying to outrange a sniper that's going to right click you, plus a Sven that's on top of you, a Batrider that's lassoing you.
Too extreme,
right? It's like,
isn't it?
They have all the ways to kill you, from close range to max range, right? So yeah, Na'Vi, they're very happy with this draft. This is like, if you were playing a best of 1 and you were like, okay, the game's going to go to 35 minutes every single time, this is the type of draft that you would want. It has like an aspect of pick-off, map play, high damage, magic, and physical. Like, it really does do everything. And for Liga, it feels like they've gone back to like a lot of comforts, right? They've got the Darkseer, the Willow, the Naga, and I think the Jara and the DK were more, again, reactionary compared to what Na'Vi was picking up, but it's still very independently strong heroes. I think Liga will feel much better if they can take a bit more of a grasp in the early game. I just really want to see Gyrocopter Twin Gate and put some pressure on that Sven in the early game. That would be, you know, around minute 7 or 8, that would be really ideal for Liga to feel good in this game. Fighting the bounty,
Gonna get caught a little hit.
Level
Ray's
1
getting
gush.
jumped, and yeah, I mean, that'll secure you the kill, that is for sure. Copy's gonna be able to take it down and get the first blood in the middle lane.
Yeah, first blood to a sniper, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is, I mean, killing the enemy like DK is like, you know, it's decent. It's gonna slow him down a bit, but yeah, getting that Wraith Band out really early on. I think he's got a wand in that courier as well. Yeah, stick coming out to him. So, oh man, that's gonna be a pain in the ass for Erase. One of the worst heroes to give a first blood to, I would say. He is so kind of stat dependent in the mid lane.
You've been very bold there, good sir. I feel like we could technically debate that. Do you want to tier list the first blood? Do you want to make it?
Okay, would you say that he's an S tier, or do you think he's lower down than that?
Let's say S tier has like 10 to 20 heroes. He might be at like the bottom of it, or at the very top of A tier. But he is very good to give first blood to. I'm not knocking that. Don't worry. I won't go that controversial.
I like discussing things. I like a battle of ideas, if you will. and roam.
I think anyone that likes playing Vanguard is pretty good for a first blood, but the Gyrocopter, hold up.
Boom, giving his life to kill off this gyro, and we'll be able to do so. Ari having to step away from respect. Yeah,
The
Ari.
repercussions of having Gush level 1, right? Like, you don't have Kraken or Anchor Smash to be able to mitigate the right-click damage, therefore, Tide is relatively squishy going into the lane. This is a really big wave coming into him. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ari just gives all the XP to the Tide Hunter, allow him to try and get his way to level 3. That'll fix the problem. But yeah, copy. Poking mid, 9 to 6 to the 6 and 2 of DK. I talk about it as we look away from it. That's how in sync me and Patrick are.
That's He's taking damage, but he's also dealing a lot of damage to the Gyrocopter as well. Will Respect finish the job here? Does
Run,
Gyrocopter
Ari,
have anything to throw? Oh, he catches him. The deluge comes out, and Ari goes down. Not the boy who lived this time around.
The lane's really just pushed up into Tide Hunter. So, alright, thanks, mate. I'll just farm up. He's missing a couple CS, to be fair. Didn't use Anchor Smash, but...
No, one hold on to it. I mean, I guess he's not got the most mana available. And they wanted to go for a kill. That's why. Immediately coming back, jumping in, body blocking up the Gyrocopter. He can't get away. Damage onto Violet. Very nicely done from Ari and Boom. Now Respect still chasing here. And I'm not too sure this is going to work out well for him. He's very, very fast on the Naga Siren, though. And I think that's going to allow him to get away. Brown boots out whilst Ari and, well, Boom doesn't have his, Ari does have his, but can't really chase too easily. Down in the bottom lane. A lot of pressure being put here, but, I mean, it's a Sven. He's a very good hero to play up into the Darkseer.
Yeah. One of the best lane counters, where Darkseer never really kills a Sven. You have Warcry for move speed if you really need to disengage, and, you know, just have kill threat, right? Batrider plus Sven.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Flamebreak and Stormhammer, plenty of ways to stop the surge away. Of course, Malik hasn't even leveled it yet. But yeah, Uragi farming well, Sniper farming well, Tide farming well, Na'Vi in general farming pretty well.
Yes, they are.
I got you. There you go. Don't worry, I got you. It's a long-winded way to say it, but we got a long game ahead of us, so I don't mind it.
Yeah, and I would imagine a pretty quiet laning phase, to be honest with you. We've had a bit of action up in the top side, but I don't know how long that will continue for as the Drag gets boots. Like it's much harder. Like I said, he's still going for it. He's got boots in this courier, right? No, he doesn't. He's going for the full Falcon Blade. All right. He just doesn't want to get outstatsed by the Tide Hunter anymore. Keep fighting up. And Copy, definitely the big winner off this laning phase so far. You know, sure, it hasn't been like shutting down the DK much. It's a DK, you're kind of not going to, but he's definitely got a pretty significant lead. DK's been resorted to pulling waves past just to try to not lane into the sniper, who is pretty much a full 600 gold ahead of him at this point. I like this adjustment from Copy as well. I don't like this adjustment from Copy because he failed to stack the camp, but utilizing the fact that the waves will push and he ends up in this weird situation to try and stack a camp's nice, but yeah, then kind of didn't stack the camp.
I'll be honest, mate, I've just been watching the Batrider. Because I'm trying to learn Batrider 5 myself, so I'm like, you know, we don't have access to replays anymore, so I'm really just using this time to go, how does Kaori play the Batrider?
Well, you have access to this replay, buddy. You can do it after.
No, I think it's really important to do it mid-game, yeah. Okay,
I found myself doing that subconsciously sometimes where someone's picked like something mid or carry which I'm really interested in playing, and then I'm just constantly looking at it like, and then I find myself talking about it a bit. I'm like, wait,
yeah.
This is my subjective bias coming into play here.
Oh yeah, I was talking to Ari earlier today, and he was like, yeah, if you want to win a lane, just play Batrider, but it doesn't really matter because Copy in the mid lane, 3 heroes are upon him.
Yeah, but he's standing his ground here, and there comes a disruption from Ari. If they can kill them off in time and stop the damage coming out, then Copy may well just survive this, and he will. The supports from Na'Vi responding wonderfully, and even looking for yet another as Kaori trying to run down Amoralis. And with that stoked, he is just staying on top of him, running him down. Kaori, triple kill for the Batrider. Oh my goodness. He might not be done. He's got a flame break here to use onto Malik, but Malik holding the surge, holding the healing lotus, and with a ring of health means that he's never in any trouble down here.
Isn't that kind of like just historically like the most iconic thing about mid sniper? It's a lot of points in shrapnel, throwing him down, the turnaround. Sure, this time around he does have, you know, supports coming in to help him out, given the burst of heal, but yeah, that was a rough one from Liga. The damage that they have from their supports just not to really help out. Like, sure, if no one rotated in, Copy's dead, but Na'Vi, they've been very present on the mid lane. Every single game that we watch them play, they are, you know, religiously going to the mid lane. They're never really backing down from trying to help out Copy. And it's very easy this game. You don't need to help Sven, you don't need to help Tide. Therefore expect Sniper to get as much help as he needs.
Yeah, and Liga should be ready for that as well, in all fairness. Like, they know the state of these side lanes, then these very stable liners, which Na'Vi have gone for. So, have to be ready if you ever make a play onto the sniper. This should be the answer, and they just got reminded of that very, very heavily. As Violent up in the top side, going to be losing his life as Coffee makes a rotation over. I mean, didn't really do a whole lot, I'll be honest. Just a shrapnel, and that was pretty much it. Didn't really need to use the assassinate. 167 damage. That's my mid laner right there.
And the fact that he's already rotating, he's also making his own stacks. That's all that matters, right?
He also messed it up again, too. I'm not.
Oh no.
I know, I'm sorry, I've called him out for messing up 2 stacks
Yeah,
now.
I know, but I looked at it and I was like, oh yeah. I said
Yeah,
he made
it looks
my,
so good.
My camera was following him going up, you know? I was
Yeah.
like, he's made the stack, and then you called him out and looked back
Sorry.
down, he's like, yeah, whatever. Come on, we could lie to the fans for a little bit, you know?
I know.
Ooh,
I was tempted to do it in mid as well. I mean, the thing is, because I made my point, and then I realized I was
yeah.
wrong because he messed up the stack, and then
Yeah.
I wasn't about to let you do the same thing.
No, it's not by us.
I know that if you'd have seen it, you'd have said it. That's why I said it.
You know, see it, say it, whatever it is, or whatever the phrase
Yeah.
is.
Sort it. Kaori,
Yeah.
he's kind of baiting here a little bit. Respect should just be going down, trying to split up his illusions. Oop, big old volley coming across from Amaryllis. They realize there's just loads of Liga heroes just running down the river at them. And they just decide to run away. Not too sure what that was from Liga. I guess just trying to keep their heroes alive, but it's like 4 hero rotation into the river for nothing.
3,000 gold lead for Na'Vi, and at least in the last game, you could feel like the hype of, oh, okay, maybe, you know, the Tiny, the Shadow thing, they can do it, but I'm just not that inspired by a DK, alright? As he is getting jumped. Shrapnel, 3 napalms on him,
No
of course that becomes 6, but yeah, nothing else to really get the kill. When Batrider gets 6, be the turning point for him, as he does get the Kobold Cup, a really nice item. Anytime you have Tranquil Boots on a hero and Kobold Cup, it feels very good.
Oh yeah, you're speeding. Throw in the new stoked facet along with that as well. And yeah, Kaori's blazing through the map. Oop, Kaori gonna take a ward here, but yeah, under the cover of Shadow Realm, going to escape, but this does leave the tower for dead. Copy will take it with relative ease here. And that's another thing as well. You know, you're playing this DK, you take the corrosion, and, well, your tower's dead first.
Tower, yeah.
You've done, how much is that? 204 damage to the enemy tower, so
But
not
that's because
ideal.
normally when you pick DK, you're the supports like the Tusk in the 4 role, the, you know, the Disruptor or something in the 5 role. You're the one that you bring yourself to the mid lane. That's not the case. The supports and Na'Vi, they're the ones making the move like that. Kaori plus SD. The early level 6 from the SD really enables them to get that quick kill onto the Dark Zone. Yeah, even the Tide Hunter just pops his head into the fight. It's like, hello lads, you need me? Nah, not really. Alright, I'm gonna waddle back to the Twin Gate. I'm gone. Thank you, mate.
Get your Ravage. Anybody want a Ravage? Ravage is here. Nope, alright.
Nope. He actually just TPs in the end, but yeah, they're looking at some incredible item timings on Na'Vi. Yeah, the pipe.
And
he's already on the way to Echo Saber, and Yeah.
You made the point earlier that Liga don't have the comeback potential, but I also feel like the lead is so much more stable from Na'Vi this time around. I mean, not don't have the comeback potential, but have less comeback potential, in fairness.
You're speaking definitives today. It's really been a...
They will never come back into this game, is what she said. She said it's literally impossible. You stake your career on it.
Whoa, hot Jesus Christ. All right. PGL already just tried firing me at the start of the game, by the way. It's great in Twitch now. We're popping off, but...
Excellent.
No, it's fine. Memes. What was I saying?
I was saying.
I lost my train of thought. My career was flashing before my eyes. Do you know, like when people say that, you know, they're on their deathbed and they think about all their wonderful moments? The last like 2 seconds, I was like looking at TI finals, you know, Seattle, people screaming Yatoro, everything just flashed before my eyes. All right, let's focus up. EEU getting jumped, but it doesn't really matter. It's just a support.
So many flashing before
to build
your
on your
eyes at
point
once.
though, pre-memes was Liga in game 2. Their comeback was like beautiful combinations of heroes working together for explosive damage. This time around, because Gyrocopter wasn't the aggressor, both in lane and post-laning phase, he's only hitting creeps. He's not thinking about fighting. And missing out on... He has secondary strikes. It's a really good facet to get a quick kill, and they just haven't punished the map at all yet. And sure, the Blink Dagger and the DK, they're hoping to find a hero. They have scanned up the sun as well. It would be a really big kill, but in the meantime, with Gyrocopter...
Gyro, getting brought down again. The damage comes... And somehow Ari picks up a kill again. I don't know how he's doing this. Good timing on the Shadow Poison, I guess. But EEU is dead elsewhere on the map, so it's a carry trade here, which I think Lee are going to be pretty happy with, especially because they've got a tower to take, and Na'Vi don't really have any objectives to grab in this area.
They've got to take anything in this type of game, and kind of wished for Liga's sake that the Gyrocopter may have joined that smoke. Chill out on the farm for a little bit, go help your team. You wouldn't die, but then maybe the argument would be if he's smoking bottom, they would give a lot of information of, wait a second, Gyro's not on the lane, they're probably going aggressive. So he does sacrifice himself for the move to be successful.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Sniper showing off the greatest change that has ever been made to Dota 2. Mark item for sell. You get an item delivered to you, they just swap in your inventory, no more backpack, like juggling your items, and then you drop it on the floor, and then the enemy next comes over and stuns you and takes your items, you start crying, disconnect. It doesn't happen anymore. Now you just smoothly swap out.
Am I right in saying, by the way, that the cone of vision from Take Game is literally everything in front of him? So he doesn't see behind him?
Yeah.
Okay. Because like when I read that patch change, I thought it was like bristleback level of vision, but like narrower. It's like, this is hilarious. But obviously it's not. It's like everything in front of him he sees, behind him he loses vision.
Oh no, I mean it's pretty tight.
Is it?
It's pretty tight.
Ah, okay. I must have gone to max level when I tested it, because I was thinking I saw a lot, which obviously 1250 is a good part of your entire forward screen. So it's slightly annoying, I guess, in early levels, but
the cone is it's kind of waterproof, so it's sort of like pretty wide.
So please explain that to
I
the
played it,
audience,
and I'm trying to. I just how do you describe that? How do you? It's definitely not like bristleback though. No, bristleback's is way tighter.
But when I initially read it, I was hoping it was worse than bristleback. I really wanted it to be like a literal crosshair where he has to like find this little angle to pew pew. But no, Valve were forgiving with that patch change.
I'm just going to check actually what Bristol's actual degree radius is. I'm kind of curious now.
Second song in the top lane.
Say excellent. Anyway, back to live.
Headshot. Oh, I didn't mean.
Oh my god.
Assassinate. Yeah, my bad. But whatever. Assassinate.
That was a very, very close.
That was very close.
When Easton would have cancelled the TP absolutely there. And a bit like Neo in the Matrix dodging that bullet. Respect gets out. And again, pressure continuing to mount onto Liga, but not really capitalizing too much on their advantage. That is sort of the state of the game at the moment. In previous patches at this point, they'd be doing Tormentor, then you're kind of looking towards Roche, things kind of collapsing a lot quicker, but the way the meta sits at the moment, we're seeing games going to sort of averaging out even the stompy games sort of tend to average out around 30 minutes because it just takes a little bit longer to get that Tormentor to turn that into Roshan and move around.
We do need to give props though to Gyrocopter. His item build is one that says, I can't be greedy, I respect the fact that my team needs me. He went for Falcon Blade, SMY, and Small Crit. Like, he is minutes away from being able to actually enter a fight. And then once your DK picks up the Mage Slayer, we already saw just seconds ago that Darkseid had Crimson. Like, Liga are itemizing to fight at that Roshan pit, to try and, you know, engage, even though they're down 6,000 gold. I like that they are buying like just enough cheap items that maybe that gold lead is a bit of a bait, especially if all the items on Liga are presenting fight-ready items compared to Na'Vi, where, you know, some of their economy is a bit more farm intense. Farm gold to get more gold.
That is true, yeah. I mean, if you get on the sniper, I would argue that they actually have a pretty good shot at taking the fight at the moment, Liga. They've picked up a Mage Slayer on the DK as well, so
yeah,
that's just been
they're ready.
finished up. They're ready.
But Na'Vi, they're the ones smoking. Well, Blink Dagger now on Kaori. His smoke does break as he walked up the high ground.
Yeah,
Flashbacks to the previous game where Ari died in this exact position on Batrider.
Yeah, and they lost the game from that point onwards.
Yeah, with the Blink. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
Right, not going to meet the same fate. He's going to be okay. Just singular hero sitting on that high ground, not a Shadow Fiend revisiting this series. Yeah, so quiet on this map. And like, I get it, you know, you have Sniper, you have Sven, farming should be a friend. But they're farming very, very well in Liga, so again, they're slightly pulling ahead, Na'Vi. I think Liga won't mind taking a breath here, allowing things to plateau. I think a good thing to do is sort of, like, it's a shame there is no option to do this, but like looking back to sort of the 12-minute mark when Na'Vi were really far ahead, I reckon their net worth advantage is probably around like 35 to 40%, but even though it's the same now, it's only 20% because there's so much more gold in the game.
Yeah, Liga have done a good
Oh,
job.
you can
at
check it.
just stabilizing the game. Oh, there you go.
There you go. So at, yeah, 11 minutes into the game, it was at 30%. Now it's at 19%. So that really gives you a good idea on how gold sort of changes through the game. But they're bored of waiting for the Tormentor. They're going to go and try and get Roshan. But there is... Oh, no, they got rid of the vision. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to try and send in some pesky Naga Siren illusions to go and see what's up. Get the D ward, take some vision. This is getting awkward here a little bit. Malik comes in, drops the wall, trying to force him out of the pit, and he's successful in doing so. Aori, though, he's going to be okay. He's flying through the map, keeping himself safe. Smoke up.
They have no god strength now.
Have no gods, yeah.
Just a single Naga illusion and a bit of pip in their step, and Na'Vi just ran away from the pit. Of course, the vacuum, the water. I mean, sure. I mean, it was onto a back right, so I didn't want to hype it up too much. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of.
Sure, but it's still there, stopping them from running back in. And
No, I agree. I hadn't finished
no
my sentence.
reductionism today.
Okay. I was trying to hype up the support, but fine. The core also helped. I mean, they should be able to finish it. They go back
Yeah.
in. Hit shrapnel. All right, round 2. No wall this time.
Yeah, those pesky Naga illusions being kept away. They've distracted them with another ward. This is a play. Feed them wards, and they will. They will not go into the pit.
Still love the fact that that was a bug for like 2 hours of Dodo. It was so hilarious.
What? How did you activate that bug, or was it just always?
No,
there?
it was just a matter of like once you buy your wards, the next time it like restocked, it would just randomly go to 4 and then have infinite supply. But then if you stopped buying them, it then went back to working normally. But it was just like every time you deplete the stock and restocks, it just worked. It was really weird.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, Sniper's got an Aegis, and he really wants to use it here. Walks right up into the DK's face, and will be losing his life. So Array's going to kill off the Sniper's Aegis, but Godstrength coming out on the sidelines kills off Respect. At the moment, it's just supports, but I'm not too sure if Array's is going to get out of this one, especially with that Ravage catching onto both him and onto Malik, and in fact, Copy. He wants Malik, but Malik wants Copy. They're having a romantic meeting in the jungle, and, well, I don't know if Malik's really going to end up too well after this one. We'll bring him down despite the vacuum coming out. Array's also does get finished off by Uragi at the same time, so at the end of the day, it is Liga dropping 3. They just didn't have the heroes in position to really make that play happen. I feel like Copy kind of knew that, forced the issue, trades his Aegis for 2 kills and a Tormentor. it's, you know, it does extend their game a bit more, but also not the best use of an Aegis you could have asked for.
Anything, I'm still a little bit baffled at the fact that Liga didn't try more at the pit. I feel like when you see the Sven with the God Strength having to like leave, you know, he's not really going to be a threat. All of his kind of economy is then somewhat obsolete for the engagement. The fact that Liga concede the Roshan so easily, and it just makes this lead from Na'Vi so much bigger. As now they have 12,000 gold. The game had stabilized, right? It was like what, 6,000 gold lead, but then you fast forward to now, and now it's like 12,000 gold. All because Liga didn't respect that first Roshan. They didn't have enough numbers to fight at the pit.
And they've returned to the same percentage level they were at 10 minutes into the game, which is sort of what you want to be seeing. Keeping up with that same level. There you go. Thanks, Patrick. Also a fellow graph enjoyer.
I wish the in-game graph though had the option to toggle for damage done. That is so hilarious. Like
yes, please.
When someone's like popping off in your team, like, oh, you're griefing and all this stuff, you check the end game and it's like your Shaker's like lowest damage, lower than a Chen. It's like, my guy, you use Mike more than anything. Maybe you should have used Echo Slap. Like, it's hilarious. I love that so much. Oh well, Shadow's getting jumped on the DK.
Here's a little bit, yeah, and should be finished off here. Does get off an ulti before he goes down, and EEU's absolutely going to take that. Amurat's just standing way too close to his buddy, and ends up getting cleaved to death. Respect going to sing the song of his people. Does get stunned out. Kaori trying to mess with him as well, as in comes Boom round the sideline. Respect is just surrounded right now, and an assassinate from Copy will finish the job from the sidelines.
No Miona prick on it as well. That was rough. Time to click the buildings.
I will say my favorite iteration ever of Sniper was when he had the Aghanims, which applied his attack damage in an AoE on Assassinate. That was so good.
I am happy that we're not in the phase of mid-sniper rushing Aghs, even support sniper going Aghs. That was like such a weird era of Dota.
I mean,
I think it was like Valahia really season 1 or 2. Yeah.
Like, it wasn't ever good.
Trying.
People were just doing it.
Yeah. And like you win your lane, and then the rest of the game you're like twiddling your fingers like, team, like, sniper should stay as a core. It's like,
Agreed.
Yeah. Na'Vi they're grouping up, going to the bot side of the map. Small crit is now complete for EEU. And they are smoking up. They have to wait for his courier to actually deliver it, but they don't care about that. As Curry, he's hunting top. He sees them trying to go for him, but his blink's on cooldown. Oh, whoa! They
walks in, immediately sees the gyrocopter. The rest of the team, they are not here right now, but Liga also don't know that. They don't really consider that the Tide and the Bat might be jumping them completely alone, as that is what's happening. Now Ari jumps up to the high ground, immediately gets taken apart. A little bit of a misengagement there from Ari, and does get punished appropriately.
They're seconds away from Na'Vi just entering that fight with so much confidence, but you know, boom, he blinks in, he's like, you know what, maybe this isn't the Ravage yet, because my Sven, he was actually by the top rune. He was about 7 seconds away from the engagement, so of course the Ravage would not have enabled him. And then EEU, he entered the fight jumping an illusion, which gave, I think, Ari a bit of false confidence as he kind of wrapped around the high ground. Liga capitalizing on a couple blunders there of Na'Vi. With the BKB on Gyrocopter, I really expect him to want to join a fight. That is the main reason he hasn't been following his team in some of these engagements. Is he's been prioritizing his farm, ensuring that he can try and keep up with the tri-core that are somewhat evenly scaling on Na'Vi. If the Gyro join these map players, he would probably have 2,000-3,000 gold less. So, of course, in hindsight, we kind of wish he was joining a couple fights, but also, if those fights didn't work out and he joined them, he would have no game now. So this is the time for Gyrocopter to try and make a statement in the game as he sits at a 1-4-2 scoreline.
Yeah, but you know, third in net worth and pretty close to being second. He's now second in net worth, pretty close to being first. So like close to being first, still a little bit behind the Sven. And of course, there is still that kind of natural counter matchup where if EEU finds the opportunity to get on top of Sven, to get on top of the Gyrocopter,
get on top of himself. You already have to fight his inner demons. That is the big counter. So
We all do before we can
Yeah.
move on to fighting others.
Mhm.
Don't forget that, guys. Copy doing some thrilling tower taking here.
If you can't love yourself,
Incredible
I won't
stuff.
finish this. There you go. I was gonna say iconic phrase.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'm just hoping someone in chat can finish it for me. I won't be reading it though. Don't worry, PGL. I'm okay. I'm not watching. I'm not there.
Radiant's top
I'll check the VOD
Good
after.
lad. Lock in.
I promise.
As Navi need to lock in if they want to go high ground here, which I don't think they do, but it's more just a method of trying to get Liga back into their base. Restricting their resources, putting pressure on this high ground. Naga Siren's being really, really annoying here.
Radiant's top
I'm not sure you can kind of leave respect on the map like this.
Reggie walking back, looking to try and protect the wave they are to walk down the lane. Not as if they're going to go for the tier 3 here. Oh! Back Rider going for a little D-ward, but gets jumped himself. Disruptor safe for now.
Yeah, but Erase is ready when he comes out the other side. But Kaori has a full BKB, but Gyrocopter's on him. Everybody just throwing spells, dumping them into Kaori. And Kaori gets out absolutely fine. Full safety here. Of course, did set himself on fire with the stoked the whole time, but it really doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything.
So yeah, a little bit of damages. It would be funny if it was like armlet level damage, right? We're like, wow, the entire time.
Would be very good.
Yeah, when I read the facet, I really thought it would like be more damage, but 2% actually isn't really attributes to much.
Certainly does not.
I'm guessing you can't deny yourself from it. I'm sure there'll be clips from Reddit already about that, so I'm guessing it's non-lethal damage.
Yeah, I think most self-damage stuff is non-lethal these days. So I imagine it's the same for stoked.
Yeah, there's only like 3
Ooh,
or 4
respect
self-denied
has
attacks
been
in the game.
seen. Kaori getting this kill here would actually be pretty big news, and I think he can do it just by himself. Damage coming out to Respect. Respect, does he have anything to stop this? No, he does not. A nice little solo kill there by Kaori. Just stumbling across this weaker support and taking him down. And also, yeah, I mean, look at all these illusions from the Naga. They've just been all across the map, and now they finally get taken out. Going to be a big breath of release here for Na'Vi. Boomer, his Aghanim's finished off as well, so got that big AoE anti-armor to really assist the Sven. So Gyro comes in, kills off Kaori. Wait, what's happening up here in the top lane? Are we just trading it? Has he got the damage? He's going to need another crit here. Miss crit! Ooh.
That's really, really... Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to swear. That was really fucking cool. All right, so he goes to the secret shop. He then buys the talisman, toggles it into his inventory, but because he's next to the shop, it instantly activates, which then gives him the miss chance. I'm pretty sure I saw that correctly. I'd like a replay if possible, but that was darn cool from the Gyrocopter. If he
Saved
doesn't
his
make
life.
that play, he is dead.
Yeah,
Whew.
100%.
All right, I'm sure we're gonna have a replay soon. That was a banging play. What the?
That was crazy, wasn't it? Could have gone either way, but yeah, Sven. I mean, even then, a bit of luck involved as well.
All
But
right, here's the replay. Right, so Gyrocopter comes in. We're gonna click him at some point, I believe. Here. So right now,
yeah.
Talon's in the back.
He's bought it, swaps it in for the Sanjin Yasha, and then
Yeah.
gets himself out.
Yeah, he can only do that because he's next to the
Chef's
shop.
kiss.
Yeah. So I think he already had it prior, right? But it's the fact that
Yeah,
because he's
gets
at the
into
shop, he can toggle it. Yeah, it's very, very good.
It's kind of more hype because you buy it. If you got it delivered in the courier, you still get like the grace period anyway.
Yeah, casually there, goes to shop, easy days. But no, that's been just chilling and they're marinating away. The secret shop comes in clutch. I've yet to ever see a secret shop assist, to be honest. So that's cool.
Lasso out, catches Arrays going for the TP to safety here. He's also going to die. Kaori being a demon on the map now, causing real issues for Liga, who are just trying to get out. In fairness, they are playing this map pretty well. They're building so much space for the Gyrocopter to keep on farming, to keep neck and neck with the Sven. They're keeping it relatively competitive.
Sure, but to keep us somewhat grounded as well. It's also a Gyrocopter that is yet to, putting it bluntly, do anything for the team, right? He is farming for his own game, which is fine, but at some point he needs to be like, all right, I'm here to play Dota, right? Maybe this is his moment as contested. No, okay, Roshan already falls. Copy takes the Aegis.
Yeah.
thought we had to go for
Roshan
the
goes
push
down.
up
Sven used nothing for it as well. It wasn't a god strength Roche, so still plenty of tools available for Na'Vi to fight with. Ravage, AoE Gush is going to cause big issues. Like, such a good Aghanims game for the Tidehunter when you've got these two right-clicking supports.
No.
Sorry, cores.
God
My
damn, so
brain's
toxic.
absolutely cooked.
Man, you're fried.
I'm fully fried.
So how many games have you cast today, man?
Let's mention it. Thanks for mentioning it.
If I can bring it up once per game, I'm happy.
I think you're currently on track for more than that, but
No. Oh no, you gave me the. Oh god. Okay, we'll talk about
No,
it
it's
after
fine.
series. It's fine.
yeah, talk about it in post game.
Oh, when we do our replay reviews, we'll do it then. So anyway, what were you saying about Tide Dags and it being really good with the Sven and the Sniper being big jumping?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But he's getting jumped right now. Not really the target you want to try and bring down. And this nice anti-armor out onto everybody. Boom still absolutely fine for the time being. They do make him burn his Pipe of Insight though, so won't have this for the fight, but if they go able to take down the Dragon Knight to start this one off, it could be big news.
Sven jumping
Harry
in.
jumps in, and Sven just takes down that singing Naga Siren. Now gets on top of the big boy. Gyrocopter being chased out of the engagement. Once again, Amaryllis just positioned terribly and gets killed off by the cleave. Assassinate comes through. It's not enough to finish the job. Gyrocopter still on the run. Yuragi, his blink gets cancelled by Amaryllis.
Blink him. Oh, he blinked the wrong way.
Oh,
Went up. Gyro went
Violent.
down.
He's giving him the run around. Gyro just sitting in the trees now. They'll look over towards the Willow. Willow blinking away as well, but this time the Assassinate should be enough. Crit on the creep wave. Doesn't quite reach the Willow, but Willow will be falling. But still, the Gyrocopter survives.
So close to dying.
Again.
Yep.
Violent, if they turn this game around, Violent has to thank, like, fate.
The butterfly at the secret. Oh, vacuum. Okay. No wall.
Trying to set up here. Violent
Sniper
trying to get
just
off the
right-clicking.
damage. He's just not doing a whole lot. And Sniper, of course, still absolutely fine in the backlines. Untouched, unbothered, moisturized, happy. What is the angle of attack here? You've got no Song of the Siren. You've got no BKB on Gyrocopter. You've got no Wall of Replica. Feels like they don't have a whole lot, T.
Dire's middle tower has
Oh,
fallen.
no, they don't. No side fire. Oh, wait, lasso. No siren.
Yeah, it's a very good target here. I mean, they're going to try and jump
Vacuum.
on that.
Oh.
Four-man vacuum, dragging them all back in. Respect already lost his life. Yuragi standing his ground, but the Sniper, he's lost the Aegis. And Yuragi, he is dead. Couldn't stand his ground against both of those cores. And now Typer just immediately going to try and get out of this one. BKB, TP away. Nightfall yourself out of there, buddy. You've lost your Sven. It's time to leave.
I kind of forgot I was casting for a second because I went for a very authentic reaction. The vacuum was like, wait, I don't know if it's that good for the cast, but it doesn't matter. That was a
I
really
liked
beautiful
it.
vacuum.
Like seeing the real you when you let down your walls and let us in.
Yeah, I let the hair down this game, that's for sure. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, massive vacuum. Gyrocopter being able to flack them all down. So close to killing a couple more heroes there, but they live on a sliver of HP, and Gyrocopter, after that engagement, he's now top net worth, gets the Satanic. We were asking the Gyrocopter to enter the game, and Malik, he hit the vacuum to say, please Gyrocopter, this is your way in, just follow my lead. Maybe if the Gyro gets to... that's the problem with Gyrocopter in an even game. You're always hoping for another item. Like, even with Satanic,
Yeah.
it's like, he can survive the Sven jump because he can then proc, but he doesn't have the Aghanims, so he doesn't have the side gunner to assist him. So he needs as much damage as possible. And because he went Butterfly, he really needs Daedalus. So like, once he gets to Daedalus, I could see a world where Gyro can truly stand his ground. Of course, that's where we're assuming that Bat hasn't jumped him, holding him in place with the Sven clicking him, right? And Sven does have an MKB, so it's not as if the Butterfly has major effect at this stage of the game anymore. It helped him live a couple of times, but now the Butterfly is a bit more of a novelty in his inventory. And this is where Satanic is going to be the key factor in Gyrocopter being able to stand his ground. He needs to be able to get it off. He needs to be protected.
Yeah. And just to update everybody on the, this new thing, which I'm sure everybody's loving. Percentagely, 12% gold advantage to Na'Vi now. The last time it was this close was back down at 5 minutes into the game. So this is the closest the game has been in the entire last 30 minutes.
If Liga win it, we can truly hype up that secret shop survivor, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
his death there easily adds an extra 7,000 gold to Na'Vi through how much map they dominate. Now we're only 1,200 gold away from a Daedalus.
Big
course, at
pickup
any
here
minute.
from Boom. Hex out from him.
Yeah.
That is for sure a difference maker, especially if you can hide it. But immediately gets pinged.
In regards to neutral items, Nagasarin did get the outward staff, so if he is jumped, leaves the world, comes back a second later, or 0.7 later, could be enough. Beating into
up
each
here,
other.
Kaori jumping in, Lasso coming out onto the word, started off, but Yuragi straight onto the gyrocopter, but the song is there to disconnect. BKB used from both cores, and Morales will be the one to fall as copies in the backland, not held back by the Song of Respect. And now there's big old Ankron to respect, another big wall, but the Ravage is there to respond, preventing the follow-up from really coming through here. Ray is getting so very low, dead on the backlines, Hex out onto the gyrocopter, but no one's really on him. Copy a little bit distracted on the backlines, killing off Malik instead, and finding those critical targets. A TP without a BKB? It's going to get him out. There is no stun available anymore. Somehow, the gyrocopter survives once again. They can just never kill this gyro, but still, Na'Vi, clean fight from them. 3 heroes dead, uncontested.
Yeah, the start of the fight was just a really bad choke point for Liga. They're trying to get themselves into the jungle to set up some vision to make sure they're ready for the fight, but Na'Vi, they're already there. They get the double jump, and at that point, the Soul plus the Gyro to BKB was used at the same time. At this stage of the game, you either want to BKB and fight with the Gyro, or you want to Song disengage, preserving the BKB for that secondary fight. Eat through the Sven's BKB to give your carry the upper hand, but it wasn't to be the case. They used them at the same time. And that then means Liga are just on mode retreat.
I love how Boom patiently played it there, holding off on the Ravage until later on, using the Hex very nicely, stopping any follow-up from that back team. Gyro, it really just is the only problem here, and unfortunately for Liga, Na'Vi have the answers.
Yeah. It's kind of like problem asterisk, not really, if Na'Vi execute the fight on their own terms. You know, it's like, Gyro isn't the carry that beats the Sven. We said this during the draft, right? Sven, you always jump on the gyrocopter. There is a brief period in the game where if the gyro is doing really well, you get Butterfly and Satanic. You just don't care about Sven jumping you. And now Sven has MBB, so he does care. And of course, we already mentioned that there's the Hex and the Tide Hunter, the jump from the Batrider. It's close to impossible for Gyro just to 1v5 a fight. In other games, Gyro can, right? You have these moments of flack, but Na'Vi have got the layers of lockdown built into their lineup to be able to do it, and multiple cast range neutral items available for them as well, because both SD and Batrider, they want to play on that jump, and SD either saving you or catching you based on the perspective of the fight, and Batrider of course only wants to catch you out of position. Copy, getting down the tower.
Getting the dream combo for his neutral item here as well. Magnifying Monocle, Timeless Enchantment as well. I feel really nice. A bit of extra duration on both the Hex and the Ravage.
Okay, Gyrocopter's looking for the Rapier. He buys the Demon Edge. Third of the way to the Relic. We wanted him to get damage. We spoke about Daedalus, but you know, why not upgrade that to a Rapier?
Absolutely, it feels like it's time. When this vacuum comes off, heroes need to die. That's not going to happen with crits. But man, it's going to feel tense. I mean, yeah, he's not died in the last few fights, but he's come damn close every single time. What a game this is. 40 minutes in. Yeah, Na'Vi are ahead, but Liga have just been finding ways to just narrowly hold on to this game, clutching up, making Na'Vi really work for it. Yeah, same thing's happening to Aurora. you know, sure, they haven't dropped a game yet, but man, they've come close. They've been pushed into these late game situations by these smaller EEU teams. The closer we get towards the end of the year, the closer we get to TI, the more this region just becomes scarier and scarier.
This is smoke up from Na'Vi. They have the advantage. They have the jump. The position goes towards Liga. They don't have buyback on the Dark Widow. She's the one right now positioning to break that smoke. And the scan, it connects Na'Vi. They know they're on the high ground. They're going to take a deeper wraparound.
Na'Vi much more disciplined on the buyback here. Malik could be a great catch, and they're going to get him and execute him. Respect tries to use the song, but it doesn't do a thing. But with the assassinate coming through, Respect, you need to move, my friend. You need to move. Oh, he does dodge out the gush, but that's not going to make a difference. It's another hero dead. No buybacks available on either of them. The lanes not looking in a fantastic place right now, but bottom side, they do have some creeps running in. They might not need him. God Strength still up on Uragi. Poppy attacking from down the low ground as well. It will be enough to take these middle barracks, and now they can move towards top side if they want, or get into Roshan. He's alive in the bottom pit right now.
What a really cool smoke though from Na'Vi, right? They take their time, they don't run up into the high ground straight away. They wait for the scan, they place it in, they see the position, they wrap around, and Fiori, critically, he jumps to the high ground because the smoke breaks. He uses his body as a wall, allows for the fight to be understood, then they instantly get the dark side with the vision he applies. If he tries to blind jump behind a tree, go for the RNG guess with what spot is the end, they might have missed it. Malik might have got the blink out, so in that clutch moment, they smoke for a good position, they scan really well, they use the high ground for their vision, and they get their kill. And Liga, they were not ready for that. A Roshan that maybe could have been the chance for Liga, get everyone grouped up, the vacuum wall into flat cannon from Gyrocopter, the Darkseid Gyro in tandem, that is the comeback potential available for Liga. That is the only main play that they have. And at Roshan, you could argue it's a choke point, but Liga unable to take the fight. They do get picked off. Again, from a really, really beautiful move from Na'Vi. That was just a really well executed smoke. And another thing, Gyrocopter, he wanted to buy the rapier, but because both of his team died, two of his members died, he just completed the Daedalus instead. He kind of panicked in the moment. He thought that could have been the last fight of the game.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. So
I'm sure we would have been saying really nice things about him right now if we did turn that one around.
Are scanning.
That is how casting goes, correct? I think is that our job? Do we have to praise them when they do good things and try and not be negative when they do bad things? We are a
Something like that.
TMA cast.
It's been a while since I read the guide.
Yep. He's disassembling his Daedalus because of course that's how Gyrocopter works, and now he's got the rapier, so
Yippee.
he buys the relic, makes the Daedalus, doesn't need to use it, now disassembles the Daedalus, now makes the rapier.
All right, here we go. At least for the casts we've done, this is the second rapier of the game after this tournament that we've seen.
Have we seen a Rampage yet?
Yeah. I don't remember who was there.
Oh, okay. They don't feel
Say that. There's a raise looking to start this fight, and I mean, this is what you do here. You just try to start things off by creating the distraction. It's doing a good job. Copy so low, discovering this rapier, which is doing so much damage, but the lasso out from Kiori, it's slowing him down, but it is not stopping him. Gyrocopter is not done, but he's got to be careful now. He's got no BKB, and the rabbit is going to be there from Boom, but where is the follow-up? It's not coming in, but he can wait a long, long time. Refresher coming out, a scythe there as well, but nobody's here to help Boom. Boom's locked the guy down for half a decade, and Uragi comes in, kills him off. Gyrocopter gone, out for the count, and GG is called. The team will not be able to defend without him. The rapier, it will go over to Na'Vi, and they will take game 3. Man, do they have to work for it though, T.
Yeah, I mean, they had to put